Hey everyone, thank you for joining the live tonight. We want to thank former profiler and handwriting expert Alexza for joining the It's a Criming Shame team. So make sure you give her a nice shout out. Thank you so much to Alexza. We will be deep diving into the cryptic note, especially tonight, and touching base on the profile of the BG. We're going to go over the characteristics and how things are written, and she's going to break that down for us. So we will see you on the live in just a moment's time. Thank you so much. Please hit the like and the share button. This is going to be a great live. Okay, I knew I was. Oh, there, Debbie. She was right behind me. Streamlabs is in the house too. Thank you thank you very much. Let's see what it was. Blind Squirrel, Bean. Bean, I think you were a member, and then you had to rejoin. I believe it was, if I'm not correct on that one. Yep. And
That's
then
right.
Blind Squirrel, and then Jesse did a super chat there. So let's put that back up to say thank you, Jesse.
Thank you,
Thank
Jesse.
you, Jesse.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for subscribing and joining.
Yeah, and before we get started, I just want to explain to everybody that I will not be able to type back to you guys in the chat like I normally do, because the only Wi-Fi I have is what's coming off my phone right now. Our whole neighborhood is down. So
right. And I'm just
been down for hours.
I want to translate that for Deb. She thinks she's too big now to talk to people. So she's just not responding to messages. And
Adam, here, I'm going to smack you with the fly swatter.
Yeah, Deb's got a fly swatter for any of the
fly. There's a fly. There's also a fly flying around in here.
Deb's gotten a little bit of a big head now, and she can't be bothered with messaging people back.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining the live tonight with us. Of course, Alexza. She was on with us about a week ago. I think it was last Friday, Alexza?
Yeah, last Friday, yes. Thank you for letting me back. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you know we love you. Thank you for coming back to do this.
Yes.
So if you could remind everyone, Alexza, what it is that you about your profiling experience that you've had, your handwriting expertise. If you can just tell everybody about yourself again.
Sure. I was a crime and intelligence behavioral analyst. It's a mouthful. And basically what I did, it's crime. We collect data to prevent crimes. We also collect data. We see crime scenes. Like I said to you, like every crime scene tells a story. So, to put all the pieces together. We also do profiling. We work along psychologists and psychiatrists to do a profiling for the killers or for the murderers or whatever. We also study trends to prevent crime. And that's basically it. Oh, yeah. And also obviously part of that, I do graphology, handwrite analysis, not forensic though. Forensic is different. Forensic, you go into what type of instrument it was, what kind of paper it was. I can't do that. I can just tell you the personality based on the traits that I see of your handwriting.
Yeah, and let's just explain about that again. Although Alexza, of course, follows this channel, when we're talking about the cryptic note, okay, this is not about that she's sitting there saying like, yes, this is attached to Delphi. This is a separate entity of what she's doing. Basically, again, she's breaking down the characteristics of say the personality, the person behind, and what do you want to say? What the usual meanings are when somebody does a letter a certain way, how it's written, okay, stuff like that. So as for the attaching it to Delphi, again, that's a separate kind of conversation, even though we know that I attach it with Delphi, but we're not here to, when she's breaking it down, it's about,
I think at the end, it's going to be up to you if you can see any connections. If you're going to be able to see connections, it's going to be up to you what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to teach you. So hopefully you're going to learn a couple things. So believe me, you will learn a couple things, very good things. So I'm excited.
Right. So for instance, like, so for Alexza to say like what chi effing pi means, right? That's what I'm talking about. We have no clue what it means, and she definitely doesn't understand this cryptic note on that type of level where I break it down and other people about what it could possibly mean. So that's what I'm trying to say with the Delphi. Okay. Again, this is just about the words, how they're written, the person behind it. So what we're going to do is that in a few moments, and just a little bit here, Alexza's going to share her window. She's going to open up her paint shop, and she's going to have the cryptic note, and she's going to go into more detail beside it about certain things of how people write. Remember we were talking about, I think, what did you call it? The felon hook?
Oh, the felon hook. Yes.
Yeah.
With the Y. I mean, basically you can see it in the Y. There's a couple other letters that you can see it, but basically it's the Y. And what happened with the felon's hook or the felon's claw, actually it's called, we learned that almost, I think it was like 1/3 of incarcerated felons, murderers, have that type of Y. So that's why it's very interesting. So when you go back and you study the letters, so that's you can actually see it. That's very interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm super excited. It's so I lots of times myself, and I'm not sure about Deborah out in here, but I myself, honestly, when a guest comes on a live, for the most part, I want to be new to hearing this information, just like you guys, because I just like to be in the moment. So for Alexza and I haven't discussed about anything to do with the cryptic note besides me sending it to her. And yeah, so Deborah, Adam, before we want to thank you again for that great live that you had earlier with Mel. Mel, thank you very much for coming on. You guys know that I wasn't on that live, but I was listening to it. I got to watch probably maybe half of it, or at least hear it. And so that was a great live. And thank you for that, Adam and Deb. Do you guys want to just touch on that for a second or say anything quickly?
Sure. We basically were talking about Anthony Greeno because we found out earlier today that he had been moved from Carroll County to Cass County and under a different charge. But we also have heard he was then now moved back to Carroll County. The charge we don't know for a fact, but we do know that he has been threatening and stalking his ex-girlfriend, which people know as Crime Geek. And I'll let Adam take it from there.
Yeah. So as far as I know, I've not gotten confirmation on the fact that he's back at Carroll County. If he were to be back in Carroll County, that would definitely throw a little wrench in the whole overcrowding excuse they used.
Right.
I found the timing of the whole thing odd, but it does stem from the fact that Crime Geek were like issued a order of protection on the 18th. There's a court date on the 28th, I believe. The accusation is stalking. It is still considered it's an accusation. So, I mean, it is a charge, but we will see, what the judge says.
Yeah. And he's had his chirping devices taken away.
Right. Which, I'd be interested to hear from Blaine as far as, because I know we touched on this a little bit during the live earlier, but I always assumed that when you were awaiting trial, you had chirping privileges. but that once you were convicted of a crime, that changed to a different type of system. And I was a little confused by like why he would still had chirping privileges after he'd been convicted, but who knows?
Yeah.
So time will tell. Either way, odd timing, just like everything else in this case.
Yep.
Sunny, can you not hear us?
No, I want to let next Alexa know that I turned her mic off because you could hear her in the background. But I unmuted it now. It's okay, Alexa. I'm muted.
Yeah. So, and we just wanted to say thank you again to Mel for coming on. I will update everyone with anything that she's not going live this evening, by the way. But she probably will be going live at some point with either Crime Geek or Crime Geek's mother this weekend, and I'll update everyone on whether that's going to happen. So we want to thank Mel for coming on and Crime Geek for also sharing her story.
So Alexa didn't hear me when Alexa, if you can hear me, unmute your mic because I had muted it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. There we go. I only muted it because I don't think you realized that you could hear the background noise when you turned off.
Sorry about that. I thought I
know. Yeah. And just so you know, too, guys, it's been a long day for everyone. Alexa's been working so hard on the cryptic note. She's a very busy lady. Lots going on. And Deb and Adam did a live earlier. Deb's been out and about around today too. We've all been, like I said, very busy today. Okay. So again, if anyone seems a little bit tired, that's just to put that out there. So Alexa, I just want to ask you, because somebody did ask the question up above, and I probably can't find it no more right now, but someone said, can you get a profile off of somebody's writing?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. You know what? Alexa, what do you want to do first? Do you want to do a small synopsis of the BG profile? And again, so this mostly live is going to be about the cryptic note and deep diving into it. Alexa,
you want to do the letter first? I think the letter would be first.
Okay.
We'll do the letter.
Alexa thinks that it's a good idea to do a bigger live, or a different live on the profile. But we'll hit a little bit about that, but we'll save another live for the bigger profile of that. Okay. So, Alexa, anytime that you want to bring up your screen and share it, then we can get into that cryptic note, unless you have anything else that you want to say prior other than that.
No, I guess, we can start giving a little bit of the background, and then, then I will go into sharing.
Okay.
That way everybody can see. I think it's easier because then, if I just say, baseline and hooks and this, people usually don't understand.
Okay.
So I think that would be better if you don't mind.
So do you want me to talk about it first? Is that what you're saying, Alexa?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you guys, I'm just going to take down any of the banners here. I'm going to move spots with you, Alexa. Or Adam, are you staying off camera for a minute? Adam? I'm just going to move Adam down. There we go. Okay. So the cryptic note. Let's talk about, for anyone that doesn't know where the cryptic note Grizz, I'm not even going to entertain that a man wrote that note.
Okay, but don't tell me. Don't say anything. Don't say any details, because I told you, don't give any. Not yet. No, at the end, you can tell me.
Yeah, absolutely not. Okay, so simply this is that anyone that's been following me since the very start, or close to the very start of this channel when I was Sunny Justice, it was all about just bringing truth and light to the BG and who was on the bridge that day. So there was a special friend of mine, and her name is Pork Chop. We call her Pork Chop just for her nickname, because we made kind of each nicknames. I'm Hambone. She's Pork Chop because of KD holding up the pig a year later on September. So she asked me if she could do anything. And I was like, I kept hearing about the Paladinos. So could you please go check them out? So I think I was specifically talking about Mark Palladino. at the time. And then so she went out on her little search that night. And thanks, Mel. Thanks for being on. That was a great live. Thank you, Mel. Thanks for always caring and being a true heart. So she went out on a mission that night, and she was looking around the Paladinos, and she knew that KD was my person of interest. So she brought back to me this note, and I said instantly, well, that's a cryptic note. As soon as I saw it, because of the fact is that I knew that the BG has a camera on his head, and about KD being the POI on the bridge, and Jason Palladino, thanks to Garrett Kurtz, flapping his gums. And instantly I just took this, that it was a cryptic note referencing to the Delphi murders. And it makes absolute sense that it does. But again, it's for your own understanding, to understand if you want to attach it or not. Anyone that does want to find this cryptic note, you can go to Jason Palladino's Facebook page, the one where it says he's a grill closer at Wendy's. And this note, you will find it on there. So I deem this note as kind of like how I deem KD holding the pig up a year later after the girls disappeared on February 13th of 2017. I deem it kind of same thing like Palladino putting, don't fear me for who I am, fear me for what I can do. All these little things that are mostly like narcissistic bragging traits that nobody would know about what each of them meant separately or even individually, because nobody would know that unless you could understand who the BG was, or what Garrett Kurtz was talking about, even though he still never said anything. Like if you ever listen to Garrett Kurtz on Open Secrets, or when he talked to Kate from Matt Sullivan's girlfriend, or well, I'm not sure, I think it's girlfriend, he never ever mentions Keegan Dunker, even though they well hung out together, and which is Katie. So they always hung out together. There's a lot of stuff between the fact that they were still, of course, hanging out, prior to the murders. But he'll talk about all the friends for the most part, but he never brings up Katie as being one of those friends. And that's usually a guilty knowledge thing, at least in my eyes. That's not a professional opinion. That's just my opinion. So anyways, that's where this note came from. And if I took this note and I attached it, and you know what, Alexa, I want to kick myself that I didn't send you Ashley Garth's note as well. But anyways, when you look at notes or whatever like that, regardless, you can tell that similar writings that people have, whatever. I don't think it's rocket science, to be honest with you, to look at somebody's handwriting. And then when you recognize at least 3 or 4 similar features to another letter, that the chances are there's a reason for that. Other than that, that's really about where the note came from. And I specifically personally believe that this is attached to the Delphis as a cryptic note. And we'll get into that later. And we'll get into the note with Alexza, I think now. Is that good, Alexza?
Yeah. I just want to show you something before we start, because
Sure.
I think it will give everybody an idea. But hold on, I should have done this before, but I forgot. J, what else? P, Q, oh, of course. Okay. I mean, we can. Okay, hold on. Okay, so you want me to start?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so as everybody knows, I guess not everybody knows, graphology is the study of letters. And by the study of letters, it's usually by the capital. Hold on, just 1 second. This is bothering me. Hold on. Usually we look the capital. If people mix capitals with lowercase, as you know, usually just the first letter should be capital in the flow. Also, we look at the baseline. We look at how neat people write. We look at the zones, how slanted, strokes, directional points. We look at everything. But one of the first things that I should have given you a copy or something to look at is we divide the letters. So I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, like that.
So, like this. So you can see the upper, what we call the upper letters, the middle letters, and the lower letters. So when you guys hear me referring to upper letters, it would be this letters. I will tell you the middle letters. Okay. And usually what this means is that the baseline basically means the line of the paper. Even if it doesn't have a line, we always draw an imaginary line. So anything above that line, this is the baseline. So the upper letters are supposed to be on top of this line. The middle letters will be right in the middle, and obviously the lower letters will go under. So that's it. So I just wanted to let you know, because it gets a little confusing sometimes. So.
Well, I was going to say, Alexza, even when you open up Paint Shop, even if it's up to you, even if you want to write up top quickly, those things, it's up to you. Do it your way, whichever way that is.
Yeah, I think that, that should be it. You guys get the idea. The upper letters, everybody, I'm sure we went to school and we kind of remember the upper letters, the lower letters, and all that. So with that, so basically, with the way you write, you can infer personality traits. And why is it important? Especially, for example, when we study when we study crime, when we study letters from murderers, we can understand and get a little bit. We can get a little bit of an insight what's going on in their head, because sometimes they might not tell you. Sometimes they might tell you. Sometimes they might not tell you. So by them writing, you can get insight and you can see their personality. And like I told you, there are certain letters that felons tend to write. What else I wanted to say before? Okay, so like anything, for example, the bigger the letters, the bigger the ego. So I don't know if you've seen people like I'm not throwing shade or saying anything, but for example, Donald Trump, I don't know if anybody have seen his signature, like how big it is, like especially the D, how big it is. So obviously the bigger the signature, the bigger the ego. Same thing, the bigger the letter, the neater the letter is an organized person. The sloppy handwriting, we start looking deeper because there's a lot of stuff going on. So that's basically it. Oh, and one thing I have to say is, obviously we look for mixing capitals with lowercase, and that's like the biggest we look for in graphology. And in this letter, actually, we see a couple of those. So if you want, we can start.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me share.
And if you guys could give this video or this live a thumbs up and a share, if you could do that, that would be amazing. Thank you again, Alexza, for doing this with us tonight. I'm
Hopefully
intrigued.
I remember.
How many other people are? Yeah, no problem.
No, I do. Okay.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, let me know when you see it. You can see it?
Yep. So let me take us. Let's see here. Do you want me to make it full screen like this, Alexza, as you're doing it?
Yeah. It's up to you if you want to do full screen. It doesn't matter.
Do you guys prefer it like this, or do you guys want it like?
Yeah. I think the bigger it is,
I think the bigger it is,
be
the
for
better.
people to see. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're gonna start. So like I was saying, so remember the baseline. So when I talk about baseline, what I mean is the line. Anything. So with this letter, we're gonna start. I'm going to start with the cap. I'm gonna go. Well, this letter is all over the place, but we're going to go like this. We're gonna go like this, because I believe this is how she wrote it. I'm pretty sure this is how she wrote it. And then after writing that, she went back and she started writing all this, and then she started doing this. Okay. So hold on one second, because I don't want this. Sorry, a little slow. Okay. So we're gonna start with the J. Okay. So if you can see the J, so let's do the baseline. Actually, no, hold on. It's my hand shaky. There we go. No. Oh, hold on. Should have done my laptop. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if you see the baseline, you can already assume, or you can already see that the J is supposed to be on the capital J is supposed to be above the J, above the baseline, and it's not. Also, the first letter, it's called calligraphic. So she mixes a little bit of script with calligraphic with print. So we will, at the end, I will tell you what that means. But just by the J and by this loop here, so by this loop here, okay, you can tell that she's a very ambitious person. She's very, very ambitious. Also, whoever whoever Jason is to her, she's afraid of him. She admires him, but she's also afraid of him. You can see, look at the way that look at the way she decorated the letter. Usually people don't decorate the letters. And also we have another loop here. Okay. And that loop shouldn't be there because a capital J should only have one loop. So that means that she's a very dominant person by that little loop. Can you guys see what I'm writing on the side or no? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little different. So you can see that she does a little bit. I mean, it's hard to. This shouldn't be there. It should be straight, a straight line. So by that, so she has two loops in a letter that should only have one loop. That means that she's a very dominant person. Okay, so now we're going to go back. Now, okay, so that's the J. So we're gonna do the capitals first. Okay, and if you have any questions, you ask me. So the C is a very interesting letter because the C, let's see if I can do it the way she did it. So baseline is right here. And then she does this, and then she blocks it. Okay. So usually a C should tell you how open a person is, the personality, how friendly, how open she is. So you can tell already that she opened the C, but then she decided to block it. That means that something about him I guess, she doesn't like, she feels uncomfortable, she feels uneasy. So by blocking it, she is expressing her anxiety against this person. Okay. Now we're going to go. Okay. Now we're going to go with the P. The P was very, very interesting. So the P is like this. Sorry. I'm going to do it here so I can see. And then she shades it. Okay. So the P, the capital P, signifies the father figure. And also, depending on the loop, it also how attractive a person feels. And when people connect their, like, for example, usually the capital P's are like this. So people that are connected means that they feel attractive. For some reason, she doesn't feel attractive. It's almost like she feels attractive, but something doesn't feel quite right. So she tends to open the loop. Also, by not attaching, like I said, this is a P. By leaving it open, it shows that she's a poor planner. She doesn't plan things. So she's a little bit of procrastinator. So let me go. Hold on. Any questions? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so that's the P. The S. The S is very interesting. Okay, I'm going to mark it here so you guys can see. Okay, I'm going to try to do it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Okay. So the first thing I can see, for you guys, what does the S look like? Like if you see the S, what comes to mind when you see that S?
I think of snake, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The bottom of it is not, doesn't come all the way across.
Mm-hmm. But if you have to compare it to something, do anything that makes you
a G?
Okay.
But I mean, I also look at it as there's confidence at the beginning, and there's a lacking of confidence towards the end of the letter, which means to me like it starts with confidence and like, and then there's the truth and anxiety that comes out towards the bottom of it.
So yeah, almost. So here with the S, like right here, you can see that she hides her feelings. It's almost like she wants to share her feelings, but then she hides them. And this, to me, it looks like a number. It looks like almost like a number 5. And that number 5, it signifies addictions. This person battles with addictions, either stimulants, tea, coffee, alcohol, drugs, some type of addictions. And you can see it very clearly. It's right here. Just by the way she did that. And here, like we were saying before, you can tell. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do the capitals. So now we're going to go into the M's. Okay, the M is very, very interesting because she has two different kinds of M's. She has a regular M, but she also has this kind of M. Okay. So I am going to do, hold on, I'm going to do the first M, which is this one. Okay. So right here. Okay. So you can see usually the M is supposed to be straight. Well, I don't know how straight is mine. So I have a couple issues too. There you go. Okay. First of all, when you do an M, you always start with the 1. That's how they teach you. And then you go like this, and then you go like this, right? So with this, you can tell that she is full of contradictions, because you can see it's almost like she doesn't do the full 1. She goes like this, and then she goes like, it's almost like she goes like this. So hold on, I want to show you something with the M. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Also, you can see right here, this is shorter. It shows that she's inconsistent. That anything she does, she doesn't have consistency. She will start something and then she will stop. She doesn't have consistency. Okay? Because like I said, an M should be like this. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay. The F. Okay, I'm going to go like this. Okay, usually the top, it means your mind. So the top line of the F, this means your mind. The middle part will mean your emotions. Okay, the longer this is, the more worries you have. The longer this is, the more worries you'll have. The shorter this is, so I'll show you what I mean by this. Hold on. I wish I would have had the other program to show you better. So you can see, so she goes like this. Okay, and F is supposed to be a little bit longer. So you can see her emotions, her emotional state. She doesn't think logically. She is very, by this little thing, you can see she's very illogical. She doesn't think. She's very easy to manipulate. You can see by here, by this line, you can see that she's very easy to manipulate. Okay. Any questions so far? Hello?
Nope. We're just all listening to you.
Okay.
Nope, we're with you.
Hold on. Let me erase.
I guess that helps if I turn my mute off.
Okay. So now we go into the E. Okay. I'm going to skip the K for now. Actually, no, let's do the K. Because I wanted to leave the K for. Give me 1 second. Where's my K? So I wanted to do the K by. No, I can you hold on 1 second? I'm so sorry. Hold on 1 second.
Absolutely. Yeah, take your time. I know it's hard to organize everything when you're in the middle of doing a live.
I know. I'm sorry. No, it's just my kids are asking a question, but I really can't right now.
Oh yeah, just lock them out of the room.
I know, right? Did you find it? Okay.
Boston Christian has a funny comment here. Said that meth will mess up your penmanship.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So now I want to show you this. Sorry about that. Okay. So now we're gonna go with the K, right? Okay. 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 So with the K, usually shows determination, how determined people are to do things. And usually a capital K, it should be like this. Mind you that I do have a couple issues because look, I didn't close my K. I mean, if I'm doing this, I should do it properly. Not the way I do my Ks, but I should. Capital K is like this, right? Should be almost, you'd have your baseline. You have the baseline, then you have your slant, and then you have, okay? So with hers, remember when I was telling you that you can also see the felon's hook in other letters? You can also see it on the K. A felon's hook is anything that goes like this, or can be like this. And what do you see in the K? You see a mini felon's hook right here. Right here. Okay. That means that she is not to be trusted. She's a person that you cannot not trust. Okay. So you can tell the upper zone, she doesn't finish this line. Okay. So, but the letter that I like the most, hold on a second. Okay, so that's the K. So now we're going to go to the E. Okay. And the E's actually are the only ones that are actually consistent in this whole letter. It's the only letter that is actually consistent in this letter. More or less, she does them the same. Okay. The E is a very important letter because the E represents the ears in graphology. Are you a good listener? Are you a good listener? Do you take advice from others? And actually from her, I do have to say it's very balanced. You can see the baseline it's there. It's above the baseline. The middle zone, it's parallel with the top and with the bottom. So that means that she's a very good listener. She might not follow what she listens, but she is a good listener. What else?
Do you mind if we just really quickly stop for anyone that's come into the chat? There's been like 70 people since we started. This is a note that was written that appeared on Jason Palladino's Facebook page in 2018. Allegedly, we think written by Ashley Garth. Just to catch everyone up for what we are discussing, and we're doing handwriting analysis with a professional named Alexza. So I just wanted to do a little catch up with anyone that's come in.
Thank you, Adam.
Mm-hmm. So usually the letters E, yes, thank you, Anna. Usually the letter E and the O's shows integrity. At the end, I will show you. Usually, like pathological liars tend to have hooks, like double hooks in their O's. I'll show you at the end, so you can see. So the E's and the O's, that's where we see people's integrity. Okay, and also if they're good listeners. Okay, so now we're going to follow. Oh, so now this is a good one. So now we're going to do, I'm not going to do the no, actually no, I should do this. So the P we already did, so we're going to do the H. Okay, so the H is actually, she actually has a good H, I have to say. It's a little bit slanted to the right, which means that she's a little bit talkative. When people slant, they tend to be a little bit talkative. The strokes, I believe she did it in good form. She went like this. She picked up our pen nicely. You can see, actually mine looks really bad. Let's erase that. So you can actually see the lines are parallel. It crosses nicely. When it even though they're parallel, you can see a little bit that she tends to be a little bit stubborn. You can see a little bit because she slants it a little bit to the right. Also, hold on a second. Yeah. And you can see, yeah. So you can see a little slight, a downward, we call it a downward stroke. So that would be the H. Okay. Now the B. Okay. This B is very interesting. And I'm going to show you why the B is interesting. She has 3 B's in that letter, 3 capital B's. And 1. Okay. And the other ones are like this. Actually, no, the other one is like this. So we have 3 different types of B's. But for some reason, this first B signifies somebody that she's close to, like a mother figure. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I would say like a grandmother, like a mother, because it's the first B that she's thinking about, and she makes it fancy. So that means that she has a connection to a woman. Possible, I would say, with the B's. The first B signifies there's somebody in her life that has a B. I would say a mother figure, grandmother, sister, but I see more mom or grandma. But also you can see that she lacks emotional flow because she doesn't close. She has an opening here. So that means that emotionally, she doesn't tend to be as stable. Okay. So now, hold on. Oh, and also this little, I don't know if you can see this one here, this little loop here. It shows that she might even hurt herself. Like she can inflict pain, or she might even hurt herself, like cutting. People that have those kind of loops usually tend to hurt themselves. Okay. Now we're going to do the R. And this I talked to you last time about, because this is I guess this is the most important one. Actually, no, hold on. God, I wish I had my. Okay. So what do you see with that R? What's wrong with that R?
It's reversed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So usually when people have reverse letters, first we look for consistency, because if they have many other reverse letters, it could tell you that there's a sign of a learning disability. Like dyslexia, people that are dyslexic, sometimes they tend to write mirror image. In this letter, I don't see, this is the only letter that I see. So that means that she possibly, I mean, I can't say for sure, but I can tell you that most likely she does not have a learning disability. Okay, so mirror image. What does a mirror image means? Means that she detaches himself from it's almost like she sees herself different, like a mirror image. And that's exactly what it means. And this is why people flip their letters, is that they think that they're one thing, but they present to others another thing. Okay, it's almost like she tends to be, I could say maybe a little bit of a double face. Oh, sorry. Turn it off. Come on. Yeah. However, she does have a good, even though she reverses her R's, it has a good form, because an R should be like this. You see? No opening. And that's actually good. That's actually means that, when she has a little bit of discipline. When she wants something, she really does it. So that's actually a good trait to have, that she closes her, she doesn't leave them open. Some people do the R's like this, and that's okay. So we're going to go to the next letter, and then I will tell you. Sorry. Okay. So now I'm just going to look at two letters that are the most important, and then I'm going to show you the symbols. So two letters that call my attention is the A. So this would be the lowercase. Hold on. So lowercase and okay. So in graphology, we call this typographic A. And that means that she's childlike. She's very playful. Okay. She doesn't take herself too seriously. Now the TH. So you can see the A. Where's the A? The A is right here, and I think she has another A here. Oh, right here. Then the TH is also very interesting, because she has a little bit of an inflated ego, and we can tell that by the way she crosses her T, and how the H, you can see usually the TH, they should be the exact same. The baselines should be exactly the same. They should say the same height. And if you can tell in hers, it's not the same height. Where is it? Sorry. So you can see right here, the T is taller than her H. That means that she has a little bit of an inflated ego. She thinks that she's better than she is. Usually people that have shorter T's they show humility. Okay. So any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. So now the symbols. The symbols are actually very interesting. I'm just going to go. I'm going to do them. So the first symbol that you see is right here. Okay, you see the crescent moon, right? So usually the crescent moon is something with a star, is usually we associate it with religion, usually the Muslim religion. But obviously, if we go back, it's more into we can get into the Ottoman Empire, the Greeks used it, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, it means Venus and God. Okay. So it means it shows the feminine side and the sin side, the moon and the star. Okay. And this we associate with sin, like sin, God, sin, God and sin. And then it's very interesting that she puts a crescent moon with a star, and then she does a cross, and then she puts believe. So I guess she has some kind of emotional and spiritual. I guess this is something spiritual. There's something spiritual, I guess, bothering her. It's almost like she has like a burden, but it's like at the spiritual level. And then you go back to the smiley face. Okay. And what stands out from here usually is it's death, because this X is right here. Usually in cartoons, since we're kids, usually to depict when somebody dies, what happens in the cartoons? They put X eyes, right? So this, for some reason, it shows death. You can see death. She has death in her mind. There's a death, something about a death that is bothering her. And then the tongue out here, it's almost like she's mocking. It's like mockery. So you see death, and then you see mockery right here. And then the last symbol that I was looking at was two more symbols. I'm sorry. The two more symbols that I was looking at from this letter are, one is going to be this one right here, which is, okay, sorry, I'm not the best at that. And then she writes tick, tick. Okay. So there's something that she knows, that she feels like she has to get it out. It's almost like she has some kind of information, but she needs to get it out. And that you can see it depicted, and it's a time bomb, basically, ready to explode. She has something that is bothering her, and she needs to let it get out. And then we have the last one. Oh God, please forgive me. I'm not the best at this. Okay. Well, you get the point, right? Okay, you have the star. Obviously, pentagon. The star can go back to the Sumerians, 3,500 years BC, blah, 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 blah. But basically in here, it represents Earth, the Earth. And you can tell this because she puts her message, her here message. Sorry. It's not going to fit. I'm going to do it here. So she puts her here message. That means something. Remember that this is something that she is, it's like a mirror that she's seeing double. And then and then there's something that she knows, and then something that brings it back to Earth. This represents Earth. So there's something that she knows that she needs to get it out, but she cannot. She doesn't know how to get it out. So basically that's the most I did. I also see that she missed, for example, another thing that caught my attention is, for example, the other A that she has. The eyes also. The eyes are very, very, very important, because it tell you if the person is organized. Let me delete this so I can show you. Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, because I want to ask you about those eyes, because you have the straight up and down ones, Alexza, and then you have the eyes that go like L's, just like so. See how the L in smile is right, and then you see the eyes in effin and pie, and then you see the eye is different, straight up and down. That I wanted to ask you about that. So yeah, whenever you have time.
Yeah. So usually, hold on. What did I do? So usually the dot means, or hold on. Okay. When the dot is right straight on top of the I and it's straight, you can say that a person is organized. It's a very organized person. Okay. If they have it slightly to the, I'm talking about the dots right now. If they have it slightly to the left, the dot is slightly, it's procrastination. Okay. If the dot is slightly to the right, it means that they tend to be more friendlier, childish. Okay. But like you said, like you mentioned the eye, so she makes this type. Hold on, let me show. So then she has this type of eye. Okay. And then and then she does this type of eye. Okay. And again, that means that she's not a trusted person. It's almost like a J. Again, a J. It's almost like a backwards J. It's almost like she has, I would say it's almost like, I wouldn't say double personality, but it's almost like she feels one way, but she acts another way. But it's on purpose though, because you can tell that she does it on purpose. It's not like it's like a personality disorder. She does it on purpose, like deceiving. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. And I'll show you right now. Okay. So when people write, and especially when you read, and this letter was a little complicated because like I told you before, usually we, hold on, sorry. So look, usually when you're writing a letter, we take the baseline and we go like this. We go like this. We go like this. We go like this, obviously. So this one was a little bit hard because it was all over the place. Like I told you, I went like this.
But
Because
hey,
I
Alexa,
believe.
Ashley Garth is a Gemini.
Oh, there's a double personality. Oh, okay. You see? And you can tell that she's, like I told you, it's almost like, yeah. And you can see it. Look at her eyes. Hold on a second. Oh, no. What did I do?
Yeah, I'm just going to be clear on this. So, Alexa, as far as I know, you said you didn't know who wrote this.
No, I didn't.
So you were just, regardless, Alexa was going based off what typical writing means. Although kind of said it out loud, and then Adam did. And then
Yeah,
Adam,
I think you said who
Sorry.
it was, but I don't know.
No, it's okay, Adam. It's okay, Adam. So we'll just go with it. Ashley Garth is the one that we believe absolutely wrote this note. So you said female. Regardless, Alexa doesn't really know much about Ashley Garth or much even about her, I don't think. Yes, she catches our lives. But I mean, when she privately said to me, like, I don't even know who wrote the note. I can't remember the name who you even said it belonged to. Again, this was strictly about using her professional experience on how things are done. And that's what it becomes about. So take what you want from it at the end of the day. Alexa, I just wanted to put that out there since we've said Ashley Garth's name a couple times now.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, so you can see, and you can definitely see, it's almost like that. I told you that mirror image. It's almost like she's one thing, but she presents herself thing. It's almost, yeah, like that. And like I told you, it's like a double personality trying to fight. But like I said, I don't think it's not a disorder. I think that's just, and yeah, and if it's a Gemini, I guess whoever believes in that, I guess that would be it. She mixes, I mean, she is a very complicated person. She mixes letters, the same letters, because usually you have a pattern. Even you write everybody writes their A's a certain way, and that's just the way it is. Like everybody writes their A's the same way. But if I go like this and then I write this, then you can start seeing that something is, it's going on. But one thing I wanted to show you, and this has nothing to do with this letter, but just so people can learn, is the O's. Like I told you, the O's and the E's are very telling. And usually run if you ever see this. I mean, obviously, this is not 100%. But when you take it by person, you can see But I am telling you from experience, I can tell you, run. When you see those O's, but I'm telling you, run from that person, because that means pathological liars. You see those tiny O's, and you see, remember, I told you, oh God, why can't I do it? And you see this, or it can be lightly here, or can also be done in the Q. And the G's also can be done in the Q's. When you see this patterns, run from that person, because that means that person is going to be manipulative. That person is going to be a pathological liar. Okay. So I don't know if you have any other questions.
Yeah, I know I do have another one. Is that I want to talk, if you could, about where the cloud is, where it says ain't no rest for the wicked. The wicked is clear. And then it goes ha, 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 ha. And she does the ha, ha, ha in different formats of big H, small a, small H, big A. But the wicked is totally purposely to me going slanted for a reason. I'm not sure what it means. I just know that that's clearly wicked is wrote that way for a reason, as it slants.
Yeah, and again, yeah, because look, she starts, the baseline is nice, we got here, and then she goes down. So again, she mixes letters. You can see she mixes letters. The A is a different A at the beginning. The I and is a dot on top of the N, which means that she is very disorganized. She's a mess. She's very disorganized. She's a very disorganized person. The T. So now look at the TH here. Okay. Now the W. Okay. The W, it's almost like her ink. It's like her M. So look, one of her M's. Because okay. And this right here, not a very trusting person. Okay, you can tell she's not a very trusting person. I feel like a psychic. I don't know why every time I say this. Sorry.
No, because we all know that people's handwritings, it's no different than anything, right? People's gestures, with their physical gestures, their little twitches, their little ticks, their little things that they have, usually refer to something. If somebody looks down to the ground instead of up in your eyes, it will tell you that they're usually an insecure person, etc., etc. This is no different, Alexza. We appreciate this, what you're talking about.
Yeah, and very stubborn, because look at their how pointy they are. That shows that she's a very stubborn person. Like when she gets something in her head, that's the way it is. But what caught my eye, I mean, honestly, at the beginning, I was like, okay, the letter, whatever. But really, what caught my eye from this letter is two things. One is why I guess she has admiration, but she's afraid of Jason Palladino. And I know you kind of told me more or less who they are. And I would understand why she would be afraid of him. But I don't know her connection of why would she be afraid of him, because I don't know, what, I don't know her connection. And another thing that really, really catches my eyes is that crescent moon. That crescent moon is something, wow. It's almost like there's something, a sin. There's a sin, and it's bothering her. It weighs her down. But it's not, obviously I won't be able to tell you what it is, but it's like I said, you can see like I told you, the connection, Venus, God, because that's what it means. Then you see the religion. And then this was very interesting too, the two X's, because usually when you write I's, you don't write X's. X's means death. And like I told you, usually the X's, when you write it in this context, it means death. It's almost like in a cartoon when when the characters are dead, they put two X's. Legos. I mean, with my kids, I see it all the time. So that is very interesting. Like really, at the beginning, I really, honestly, I didn't I mean, I knew I had to do the letter, but it didn't caught my eye as. But when I started doing the symbols, I was like, I think I was more interested in the symbols than in the letters. I think the symbols really caught my eye. And that B, that first B, I don't know. Do you know anybody? I mean, that might
Anyone?
be related to her. There's a mom, a grandma with a B.
Um, uh, not a B that I know of. I don't honestly know what all the siblings are. I know what the grandma's name is. I don't even actually can't remember what the mom's name is, to be honest with you. Does anybody else know about the B? If what Ashley Garth's mom's name is?
I do. I just have to think.
I guess I can. You know what? All I have to do is go to Intellius right now, and
maybe it doesn't mean anything, but it is very interesting how that B is. It's it's tied to her, somebody close to her. And
well, her grandma is, but her grandma is Peggy Garth.
Oh, okay. So maybe, I mean, maybe somebody else that she knows, but that B is very interesting. It really stands out. How, her other.
Someone was asking about the capital R. I think you can see one in No Rest for the Wicked.
Oh. The capital, which one? I'm sorry.
The capital R.
I don't see an R in Wicked.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
Oh, rest. I'm sorry. Yes. Rest. Yes.
So the only thing I see is that her brother's name is Brody Garth. And so that would be the only B that I'm seeing here, but that doesn't mean anything, right? I think her mom is Amy Garth, I think. Or is it Lori? Or maybe it's Lori Clausen is her mom, actually. I think it is. I think her mom's name's Lori. But whichever.
Okay, and hold on, let me see. I wanted to show you.
Oh, she said no. Well, you're calling right. So she did go over that, Kelly, but so basically the whole point to Alexza is where it says Chi effing Pi was right here. You know, when you first look at that word, it's obviously like the T looks like an E, but the R is obviously got the added, swirly Q running down to it, which obviously signifies something, which I don't believe it's a 6, but hey.
So wait a second. So, okay.
So, meaning the word is supposed to be right, but obviously it's deceptive.
I put it as B. For me, it almost like in her subconscious is a B.
Well, exactly. And it possibly could stand for bridge guy. It could stand for something else. Somebody had just made mention that maybe a BG. I know that Grizz thinks it looks like a 6. But if you look at the T, it's like an E. So when I asked my husband to look at this word right away, he goes, "Oh, it looks like he goes bridge." And I'm like, "No, look at it again. It's not bridge." So it's one of those things that when your eye, you know how your eye first catches something and it instantly goes because you're just quickly glancing and going bridge. And then you look and you're like, oh no, it's not bridge. That's right. And so, yeah, so she's talking about that. So that's supposed to be an R because it's supposed to be the word right. But obviously,
but to me, it looked, and I'm the one that said it to you back when I was a mod. It looks like a B and then a G below it for bridge guy.
Yeah, it's very interesting. That B, it has some connection to her. But to me, it was almost, I don't know, to me, it almost, by the way she wrote it, I mean, to me, it almost seemed like it's somebody from her, like her family, like a mother, like a grandmother. But I mean, I could, but that it's almost like she wrote it knowing that it was an R, but it's a B. It came out as a B. And that's, And then what other letter did you want me to look at?
Grizz is asking if you can quickly talk about the baseline again, what the baseline I think means.
Okay, so the baseline, what it means is it can tell you. Hold on, let me delete this. The baseline, it just basically shows you how organized people are. Okay. Sorry, I have a shaky hand. Okay. So when you write letters, right? For example, the J should be on top of the baseline. She doesn't have it there. She has it underneath. So we take a look at that. For example, let's say I'm going to write. Okay. So you see capital S, and they're supposed to be touching. All the letters are supposed to be touching. Obviously, you can see here, mine, obviously, it's a little bit down. And, we look at all those things. So the baseline, it tells you just where the letters should be. And if they don't go within the baseline, then we start looking at it. Why doesn't it go in the baseline? So it starts telling us a story. It's like a story that you see. It's like little by little, you start seeing things that, that give you a bigger picture. And then you start looking at slant, this, for example, how big the letters are. Some people write, like she writes really big. That's how I knew. Usually women tend to write bigger than men. And obviously, like I told you, the bigger the letters, the bigger the ego. When people write, for example, slanted, I'm going to write, let's say, and I did that all on purpose so people can see. Let's see if you guys catch that. So you see, so it goes a little bit to the left. So everything. So we look at slant. Do people write straight? Do they write more to the left, or do they write more to the right? Some people are completely to the right. Some people write completely to the left, and everything goes into consideration. How big the letters are. Like I told you, capitals. Capitals are another thing. People that mix capitals with letters, you can see that there's something going on. There's some psychological issues there because
Do you deem this?
Mhm.
Sorry, do you deem this person as right-handed or left-handed?
She's right-handed.
Okay, and just by your thoughts, what you say right-handed because of how it's, I don't know, because it's pulling both ways there, isn't it?
I would say by the slant, because usually left-handed people tend to go all the way to the right. My husband is left-handed, so usually left-handed people. I mean, though doesn't mean that you can't. It's not like I told you, but I would say she's right-handed. She's a
Okay.
right-handed.
And Grizz would like you to talk about he wants you to talk about the baseline for the word that is supposed to be right here. So right here being underneath the Chi effing pi part where it says right here.
Oh yeah, right here, right?
Yeah, and then the word here as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants you to kind of go over that again if you could.
Okay, sure. So let's do this. Let me delete it. So again, we're going to do a baseline. So this baseline should be here. The second one should be here. And the third one should be here. Okay. So you can tell also, look, so you can start in the baseline. She doesn't touch. Her letters are they don't touch the baseline. Okay. So that means, hold on, let me show you this. Perfect. Where is this? Okay. Let me do this so I can show you. Okay. So people usually, when people don't touch this, that means that they're usually a little bit secretive. People hiding. They hide things. Okay. And then she slants a little bit. I mean, here she slants to here. She slants a little bit to the right, but the A is inclined to the left. Okay. And then the R right here. Okay, hold on. Let me do this perfect. I don't like the way I did it. Okay. Okay. So you can look at the I and the E. Look at the E, how it's completely. If there was an imaginary line, or even if there's a line, look at the E. And remember what I told you about the E. E is the ears. In graphology, E means the ears. Whether she's a good listener and she's not. Definitely she's not a good listener, because you can tell right here. Look, a good listener would have a nice baseline. Even though I have to say, and I do have to give her props for it, because all her E's are very, even though the baseline is not straight, or they don't, her E's are almost, is I think the only letter that is very consistent are her E's. So you can see that in her letters. What else? And like I told you, the E, again, ears. Does she listen? Is she a good listener? Is she's not? Okay.
Did you touch on the wicked part, how it was slanting?
Oh, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me go
No,
back.
it's okay.
Okay, let's go back to that one. Okay. So wicked. Okay. So yeah, we started with the W, and I told you the points. Okay. Okay, very, very sharp. And then the I, it's a little bit slanted to the left. Okay. Tiny. Let me see it straight. Because I can't see. Hold on a second. See, let's see this. Yeah, let me go do it here. If I do. Come on. I want to write it. No, come on. How do I get close? I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. Okay. So let's see. So you have the I. It's a little bit to the thing. And remember what I told you. The dots always tell you if a person is organized. Have obviously an I that is completely, if the dot is completely on the top, a nice round. Oh, and also people that tend to forget the the dots and the eyes are usually people that are they're careless. They really don't care too much. So usually people that, and you would see it, people that don't write the the dots are usually forgetful people. What else? Oh, so that's in the I, the C, and then the K. Look at the K. So the C again, remember what I told you. C is the openness, and she's not very open, because usually a C it's like an O. It's like half an O. So it's the openness. How open is the person? And look at her C. Her C is like, no. Hold on. Like this. So that means that she's not almost looks like an L. So she's not a very open person. Like there's, like I told you, and in the other one, it shows that there's something like she blocks it. She's not I would say maybe she's not I wouldn't say she's not a friendly person, but she's not as open as other people might be. Okay. That would be that. The E, well, the E we did already. And we have hold on, let me delete this. Oh, come on. What is it saying? Sorry. Okay. So now the D. So let's see. Okay. Okay. You can see also the mixing of the nine, because that 4, obviously, some people write in slang and everything, but obviously you can see that she mixes words. That 4 obviously should be FOUR, whatever. And she puts the 4. Obviously, we won't pay too much attention. And then at the bottom, again, the H, remember the parallel, and again the A, those A's. So I mean, to me, like I told you, I mean, to me, she seems like a person who's very conflicted. She shows one side of her, but she's almost like she has another side. There's something she knows that is bothering her, and she it's almost like she admires, I will say, yeah, like she admires Jason, but she's also afraid of him. Like she knows that she will never, and you can see just by the way she, she wrote his name. Like, look at how big, how fancy. So, so I don't know if you have any other questions.
Deborah, Adam, do you guys have any? Because I know people want to know maybe about the bubble, and maybe go over again Alexza too in a minute. But we'll let Adam and Deb ask a question first. But maybe go over in the order of how you thought that this note was written. But Adam, what you got?
I'm just fascinated listening. I did have one quick question, and you may have addressed it, and I missed it. But what do you think? What does it symbolize when someone doodles inside of a letter, as in the J and the P, like when they add like an artistic doodling to the actual letter?
I can't. Can you just? I'm so sorry. Can you just give me 1 second?
Of course.
Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, guys. Come on.
I was curious about that because I mean I do it myself sometimes. So don't say it's like a psychopathic thing. So I'm okay with sociopathic, but not psychopathic.
You know what, Adam? What it means is that you admire your co-host so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're
obviously referring to you.
Oh, especially if it's a J, because they're jackasses.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
I am always curious about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've always. Yeah, I guess my ego must be huge because I always write swirly. I write almost what I would call, like when I typically write, it's more of almost like I don't know, calligraphy type of. Yeah,
when I used to write myself and didn't have people do that for me, I would often the same way.
All right, Alexza.
Okay. Sorry,
Alexza.
Sorry. Yeah. So what was the question again? I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, I was asking, like when someone doodles inside of a specific letter, is there significance or no?
Yes, actually there is. Like she does. You mean like this, like the J and
like the J and the P?
And the P? Yes, it does. Okay. That means two things. One, a person likes to present in a way that they're really not. It's almost like they're adorning themselves in a way that maybe they might not be. Like they don't show their true selves.
Okay.
That's a person that will never show, they have to adorn. They have to put something extra because they don't want to show their, that.
So they're hiding something about that person if it's a name?
I wouldn't say hiding, but it's almost like, it's almost like they put the best of them, like they always.
Oh, yeah.
Like they put even if you're sad, you will always say, "Oh, I'm happy," but you're not happy.
Okay.
It's not like they're pretending something they're not. It's almost they present themselves. They adorn themselves better than they are. Like you're sick. Instead of looking sick, you will put, you will make up yourself a little bit better than you are, so people won't know that you're sick. So that's what it means. That's what it means. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
My question was going back to, the Chi, F, and Pi little line there. And the fact that in that line is a hidden word, that it's Ki. And then if you skip on to the next I where she makes it look like an L, and then in Pi, the I looks like an L. It spells out the word kill. So do you see that?
Yeah, right here.
What is it? Why does a person, I mean, there's an obvious
she's trying to do. if you think about it, writing is subconscious. I mean, we get taught how to write, but we don't really think about it because we don't sit there like, okay, we're gonna do the K. It becomes instant. It's, you start writing, you write. It's your subconscious. So sometimes you're gonna show, and that's what it means, and that's exactly why we study this, because this is basically we're looking into your subconscious. People don't want to do that. I mean, sometimes people, it's almost like when you tell a child, okay, write a letter. Of course, they're going to do their best. They're going to do their best handwriting. But at one point, people are going to slip. And that's what happens. For example, in like the ransom notes. And that was a big controversy with the Ramsey. But remember with John Benet Ramsey,
Right.
and then whether Pat wrote the note or not, whatever. And that's exactly what it is. Because people, even though you want to disguise your handwriting, there gets a point that it's your subconscious, and your subconscious is going to let out things that they want to get out. And yes, I noticed it, but yeah, I did notice it when I was going through, and I was like, okay. But I wasn't sure if it was me putting things, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, when I read that, in my mind, I see it reading "kill" was right here, and then that line goes around to the arrow and points to the star with the circle. Almost as if like this is where we did the killing.
See, for me, that R, I know it's an R for me, and I even made a mistake. For me, that screams a B. I don't know why.
I've always thought it looked like a B and then a G. Yeah,
it looks like a B. But I mean, like I told you, for me, what's fascinating about this is the symbology. I mean, the pictures are very interesting. And question for you. I mean, does she have any kind of addictions?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a meth addict.
Okay. Whatever
just
else too.
Beauty.
Okay.
What, Adam?
Just beauty.
Oh yeah. I know she's beautifully ugly, but whatever. I'm ugly on the inside and outside, to be honest with you. But I think that she thinks that she's a pretty decent
attractive.
person.
Yeah, she feels like she's attractive.
Well, I don't even think that she thinks that she's attractive, because she might, but I think that I mean, the eyes are in the beholder, of course, but or looks are in the eyes of the beholder. But I think for me with Ashley, I think that she thinks that she's a nicer person than what she is. Like that. I think, she you can tell even that even in the message that she sent Blaine, she's been wrongfully convicted, blah, blah, blah.
No accountability. And like here, like you can see the loop, like the P, like that big loop, like the loop. The bigger this loop is, the more attractive a person they might feel. So those loops is attractiveness. So she feels like she's very attractive because you can see it right here. And the other P is consistent. So she thinks, and even the B, even the it's a B, look at the loop. So she feels like she's very attractive.
Yeah, I think kind of like Kagan Klein thinks he's probably attractive as well. It's probably that same inflated ego over there. And I'm just going to address something in chat because I keep seeing people put this. To me, unless you're in that the whole meth and drug world and stuff like that, if Ashley or Garrett, even though Garrett does have a big mouth, so does Chris Mathis. Well, I think Ashley doesn't have as big of a mouth as those ones do, even though I still think it's pretty big. But I don't think people understand that, right? When you are part of gangs or around that whole drug world, and I think it's just common sense that if you know that your life is going to be at risk and that you're going to be killed, let's say, and that you mess with some bigwigs that are into the drugs and you open your mouth, why do you think a lot of people have probably not openly been talking about it so much? Because no one really wants to put their families at risk. And even for me, Kagan Klein, you think for a second that if he snitches out the truth, that he's not going to be dead, as within a very quick, short amount of time, because those gangs that are outside are inside the prisons, and there's a will, there's a way. We all know that people, when it comes to their families being threatened, their children, that most people are not going to talk because they're shitting their pants. Because when you involve yourself in that type of activity, then you've surrounded yourself with a bunch of, you know, bad people to go with it. But you know, it is. But so some people keep saying like, well, why wouldn't Ashley have snitched to save her own ass? Well, no, Ashley did try to. Basically, Garrett Kurt said that Ashley tried to throw underneath the bus for Delphi, but Ashley and Garrett, I mean, these people fill their polygraphs like yesterday's underwear, you know, like just like Kagan Klein. But I just want to touch on that because I just seen a lot of people mentioning about that. Who's really?
Can I answer one question that I saw? Somebody asked a question. I think it was Ben that answered that asked the question, and he said, "What is?" It almost looks like an upside down F under addicted. And to me, actually, no, that actually looks almost like a J. And in this particular case, it has to do with sexuality. Like
Alexza, it's what it that truly is what it looks like a J. What it truly actually is, it's a miniature cross on top of a hook that looks like a J. It's actually a cross.
Wow, I can't see that.
Yeah, if you had the ability to zoom that message in.
Probably, because I mean, to me, it's okay. So then I take it back, because to me, I was going to say, I thought it was a J.
It looks like a J at first look, at glance. But if you actually truly zoom it in, it's a miniature cross, like the cross that's above belief.
That's above here.
Cross, and then it's got a straight line and a hook as if it was like a J. So there's obviously equal signs, like addicted equals, and then a cross
to something. To
something.
Yeah. It's almost like, like I told you, there's something. But even the way she is, it's almost like she does care about, it's almost like about spirituality. It's almost like I'm not saying she's holy or you know, she's praised, but it's almost like she cares. She does care. Like there's, I guess, deep down, there's that concern about that. Maybe she did something wrong, and she has that concern that maybe God will see what she did.
Well, she is a Gemini, you know, so I feel like she does have care. I think that her life has just obviously gone so erratically astray from probably what it was intended to be like.
So she's in prison right now, right?
Yeah, she's got her. She's in prison for like 48 years. Well, that's the time she got. Yeah.
Is she the one that ate to help kill somebody?
Yeah, Nicole Bowen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know who she is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, very complex individual, but yes, I mean, like I said, you know, take it how it is. I can't tie it to Delphi. I can't tell you, yes, it means that, but you know, you can take the little pieces and bits, you know, like something, there's a secret, there's something that she wants to get out of her chest. Maybe she knows the truth. Something, and she wants to say it, but you know, she can't say it because I guess she's afraid of Jason.
Well, this was posted on Jason Palladino's Facebook page. I don't know how afraid she truly is of him.
She is afraid of him.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, maybe he knows about the note, but she is afraid. She idolizes him and she sees him, but she's afraid of him, and you can definitely see that. Just look at the way she, again, adorn the letters, make them bigger, you know, kind of like pleasing. Like she wants to please him, but at the same time, you can see it. Like she's trying to please right here, but in here, you can see that she's afraid of him. Like that C is supposed to be open, but she closed it. I mean, she's afraid of something. She's afraid of him.
Well, the Palladino family is, we got 2 sitting in prison right now, and one that's not. I mean, there's more than just them, but there's 2. The father, Mark Palladino, and Jason Palladino sit in prison right now for drug, meth charges, etc., etc. Let me put it this way. I think it's like Gabe Ellis. You cross Gabe Ellis, you're going to end up probably dead somewhere, buried. You cross the Palladinos, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to end up in that same position, but I can't confirm that, of course, with anything to do with Delphi or, you know, anything else. But it's just what people have said that are closer to the Palladinos that have said you don't cross them. If you cross them, basically, There was somebody that said to me that knows them that said he refuses to talk about the Paladinos, and that should stand alone enough just saying that. And he said, and if you enter Carroll County, he would never enter it without a weapon.
Oh my God. Okay. So I guess anything else?
Well, I was going to say, is there anything else, Deborah, Adam, or anybody else wants to ask about the cryptic note for the part of her explaining?
I don't have anything about the cryptic note.
Okay.
Anybody else in chat have anything to ask before we take this down and come back? And then
and we close it down.
we'll just see if anyone says anything chat. But as we're doing that, okay, guys, if somebody else has something to say, I'm going to go over this cryptic note for myself, how I've always seen it with pork chop, and how along the way different impressions have, maybe more came to light. But
should I stop sharing?
No, I'm going to leave it up there for a minute because I'm going to talk about it and explain it to people. So again, I'm going to go back to Miss Dog Lover on this one. So Miss Dog Lover is like anyone who sees this is so obvious. How would nobody see this? Again, it wasn't obvious because you would have to understand, first of all, the line of who you felt, or if you knew who was, in or murdered the girls or had knowledge of the girls. So because of the fact that for me, knew who the BG was right from the get-go, I knew that KD was on the bridge that day. Okay. So after that, after looking at it, all the markings, blah, 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 it came about. I wanted to know, well, I'm tired of looking at his face and markings. I'm over him. I want to know now, as I started caring more about the actual story about why these two girls were killed. So that's when I started, coming across Open Secrets and the different names involved and checking them out. One of the biggest wealth of knowledges to me was Open Secrets videos, because that you had Garrett Kurtz talking himself. I'm going to play a video, a short part of when Garrett talks, and about this person that he's implicating, okay, like Jason Palladino. Now, in the video, though, he doesn't actually implicate in this video. He implicates in a couple of other things. He implicates in an interview and brings up Jason Palladino's name. But in the actual video, he basically doesn't say his name, but he implies. I believe he implied. I'm pretty sure he didn't say, oh, no, or did he say his name? I can't remember now. Too much.
Hey, Sonny.
Yeah.
Sonny, I'm going to jump out of StreamYard and on my phone into the chat so I can help answer questions there, and then I'll come back and forth. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Thanks, Deb.
Bye.
Thanks, Deb. Okay. So as for the cryptic note part that's in front of you, so Garrett Kurtz himself implicates Palladino as being one of the people involved in the Delphi murders. Then we have, from not too long ago, when Nick Edwards sends me a message, which I'll show you guys again, implicating Palladinos in the murders of the girls. So this isn't just a random thing. This note came out because of the fact that I knew who KD was. Pork chop detective, my pork chop friend, knew that KD was the BG. So when she brought this back, it started attaching the names that we had been talking about. So instantly I felt, okay, my opinion was that this was a cryptic note talking about the murders. Because as soon as I glanced at it, first of all, Jason Palladino, okay, that name's been mentioned. Smile motherfucker. Well, the only time that you would use that typically is when you're talking about a camera, a video camera, whatever. That's typically when you use that. So if I attach Jason Palladino, because Kurtz himself has implicated him with Delphi, and I attach the fact that I know that he has a camera on his head, the BG, And I know that KD's on the bridge that day. And if you look at what looks like a map, and people can say that it looks like a sock or a penis, whatever. Where it has the line that stretches where it's licking the tip of like just where it bends around there with the two eyes. Well, that usually means death, right? Anyone that can Google that themselves. So think about it. Jason Clint Palladino has been introduced. Smile mother fricker usually means camera when you're talking about it. Then you have KD. So I know KD's on the bridge. That's a no-brainer for me. And so then you have what looks like as if it's a long line like the bridge. That might not be, right? This is all just using the basics of what I call critical thinking, common sense, and why would all of this be on a note? And Jason Palladino and Ashley Garth were together at some point. Garrett Kurt refers to that when he says that Ashley was effing like freaking Jason Palladino. Garrett and that were going through a rough time, and Ashley were going through a rough time. Either way, this was literally placed on Jason Palladino, meaning Jason and Ashley were obviously probably in the same house the minute that this was posted. Because again, if you didn't know who the bridge guy was or had no concept of the trail about Palladino, Garrett Kurtz, Keegan Dunker, et cetera, you wouldn't think twice about seeing this note. So Miss Doglover, that's the point. It was only brought to the surface when Pork Chop brought it to me and I shared it with everyone else, trying to explain about Keegan Dunker, Jason Clint Palladino, the smile motherfucker, the camera, that probably where the circle is where the girls were found at those coordinates. And then above that, where it says ain't no rest for the wicked, it implies to me about a graveyard. And so anyone else that has their theories like Grizz does over there, Grizz has different thoughts, and Grizz is allowed to have his different thoughts about what he thinks about it. Because at no point, unless Ashley Garth herself tells us exactly what this meant, and Grizz thinks it's a guy that wrote this, but I could easily show you Ashley Garth's letter to show you the L's and the T's that are identical. But again, everyone can go get this note if they want it and try to decipher it to the best of their abilities. This channel, Pork Chop, found the note. We brought it to light because nobody else would have thought nothing about it. So when you go to, and Alexza, when you think about it, right, we got implications for Jason Clint Palladino. Smile motherfucker usually refers to a camera. We have addicted. We're talking about drugs here. Crescent Moon Star could reference multiple things, to be honest with you. It could reference a gang sign. It could reference what you said, Venus, God. Either way, whatever it references, because at the end of the day, what you're saying is the structure of the handwriting science that you are taught to learn. So just because I write big doesn't mean I have an ego. It just means in most cases, it is very common that when you see certain things, that this is the probably like a good baseline characteristic of that person. And so, like I said, so what it says in that bubble, Alexza, says, I really don't know why I did this. And then it's almost like the bubble points to an E. And yes, I had said about the K and the I and the L and the L. Again, it's like a hidden word called kill. So Chi effing Pi was, and it looks like, and Deb's probably right, from this BG, and it looks like the word bridge. And then we have the backwards R. So I don't know if that meant Ron Logan. I don't know if it meant Reagan, as in, because, well, I'm not going to get into that part yet. But anyways, we don't know if it means reverse. We don't know what it really means. But common sense says when you see something that has all those attachments that you could bring over to Delphi because of Garrett Kurtz talking. And for me, again, my baseline will always be KD because I've never changed my story since, and I still haven't. The only thing that made it even a little bit better but worse is that they finally introduced the storyline that I knew had happened, which was the girls were lured. I didn't know it was going to turn into this whole CSAM thing. I just knew that there was somebody out there that lured them. And And if people think for 1 second that KK and TK themselves did this whole task, that's going to be an absolute lie, because that won't be the truth. That, like, whether or not that's how it comes out, that is not the truth. That is somebody saving their own ass so that they don't get killed themselves. So that, you know what I mean? Because you don't think on each other. And if you do, you better have damn right good protection, or else you're good as dead. I mean, he's almost as good as dead regardless, sadly. But, you put yourself in with 30 charges of that. But if you put yourself to a higher power that's involved in this, and you talk, like I said, you're as good as dead yourself. So, those are things to think about when, people are listening to all this drama, gossip, all these different things. But this is no different, really. This is just theorizing about what this note could potentially mean, because there's a lot of things that connect this note to what is being said. Yeah, so can you touch on this, please, Alexza? True Crime Web, and what we were talking about, like, first of all, the order. How do you think the order of this note was written?
I believe, and I'll show you. Hold on, let me just wait.
Steve, we'll get to your question in just a sec, you guys.
1 second. So I believe it was written like this. She wrote this, like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
And then she added this, and you can tell because look, it interferes right here. So this was added later. This was probably added later too. I can tell. And I think this was added later, and this was added later.
No one can see anything on screen.
Oh, I am so.
What?
No one could see anything on the screen there, right?
What do you mean? The thing's still up, isn't it? I never took it down.
Yeah, no, I could. But she was saying this and this, but I couldn't see anything following.
Hold on, let me see if I can make it red. Hold on.
That's all I meant. So like when she was like going along and saying this is.
I think you can.
You can't see the black lines that she's drawing.
Oh, now I can. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We're deleting it.
Oh, were you looking over to the other side thinking she was writing over there, Adam? Is that what it was?
Maybe I was.
Yeah. Squirrel.
Okay. So I believe she started with Jason Clint Palladino. Then she wrote smile, and she wrote up to here. Then mother here. Mother 5 here. Then the K, where you see the site with the K, fucking whatever, PI. And then I believe that was, hold on. So I think that was probably added later because it doesn't fit, but I could be wrong.
You know what, though, Alexza? Your thoughts are just like mine.
Right.
Go ahead, Adam.
No. I know. I did not mean to interrupt, Sonny. You go ahead.
No, I was just saying that what Alexza is saying is exactly how I felt about how it was written as well, without even thinking about it, though. It's just when you look at it right away, you can tell that it looks like it was added later, where it says ain't no rest for the wicked. It's like she had the base of the note, and then she added some things afterwards.
Yeah, that's and you can definitely see that ain't no rest, like this thing, that was definitely added later. And you can tell, actually, you can actually see the proof because right here with the F. It intercepts the F, so you can tell that was the F was already there when she wrote it.
All right. Oh, thank you, Miss Dog Lover. Just really quickly.
Oh, my bad. Adam, me and you both keep touching
it.
Stop
it. Thank you so much, Miss Dog Lover. I was gonna say, Alexza, there was a couple of people asked in chat, and you may not be able to answer this question. But if you had to, I don't know if you can or if this is speculating, but what would be the motive, you think, for someone writing a note like this and publishing it on someone's Facebook page?
I think, like I said, I think there's something that she knows that she wants to tell somebody, or she wants to tell the world, I guess.
And but do you think that's out of pride, or do you think it's out of...
No, I think it's a conscious. I think honestly, there's it's weighing her down. I would honestly say almost at like the religious, level that it's some like she knows that whatever it is wrong, and she wants to come out and say it. Like it's a burden for her, and that's how I see it. And that's why she wrote it. It's almost, it was, and also writing. When you're writing something, you're expressing, you're getting. It's like crying. It relieves.
Yeah, but that would mean that
if you're a sociopath or a narcissist, can something burden you, even if it doesn't make logical sense?
It can, yes, it can, because don't forget that subconsciously, even psychopaths, and there are things that they can bother. I mean, psychopaths usually don't know right from wrong, but yeah, there can be things that they regret, or things that they feel sad. Yeah, no, there are things that they can't, even if they're psychopaths, sociopaths. Yes.
Yeah, or even just not like even just narcissistic. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that she's narcissistic, because she doesn't have the handwriting of the narcissist. Okay. I'm going out on a limb, but I wouldn't say she's a narcissist.
Right. Well, I'm not a doctor, so I would always say that. Yeah.
She might be a sociopath, but not a narcissist.
I'm going to interject on this one, because but for the fact that this is put on Jason Palladino's Facebook page, which is, this whole family is no good. Okay, just no good. I don't want to include everyone in the Palladino family. I'm sure there's some good apples in there, but as a base, as a whole, this family is no good. So I can understand it if Ashley put this on her own Facebook and was kind of wanting to let people know. But to me, this is a blatant, egotistical. Okay, remember how we were talking about the tongue and the sticking out of the tongue?
Yeah.
What's the word you used, Alexza?
Mockery.
Mockery. This note to me screams mockery. But for the fact it's on Jason Palladino, who obviously doesn't have a soul, or if it is, it's buried deep below. I think that Ashley does have a kinder heart. But for the fact that we see Keegan Kline holding a pig, this note, plus CJ Palladino, for me personally, and again, we could be wrong, right? Because we're just going
not Keegan Kline, Keegan Dunker.
Oh yeah, sorry, right. I'm sorry. Keegan Kline just worked at a hog farm, and heaven forbid that there were pigs at the time.
Then tomorrow everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Sonny said."
Yeah, I know. I get them freaking. I'm tired of.
I know.
It was my worst day that name Keegan came out. Never name your child Keegan or Kagan. Never name your child Anthony. Stay away from those names, people. Come on. They have brought no good. Every time you hear of Anthony shots, like even Gonzo was saying that to me today, the triple Anthonys. Anthony shots, Anthony, Jerry is his real name. Jerry Anthony, Klein, Tony Klein that he goes by, but Anthony, and then, Anthony Greeno. Please, people, name your kids well. That's all I'm going to say about that. Or Jason. Okay, or Jason. Most Jasons I've known, I don't know.
Yeah, I've always thought that Deb is a very good name. I've also thought that Sunny is a beautiful name. Alexza is a gorgeous name.
Yeah, isn't it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've never met an Aspen that I liked, though. Although the city is cool.
Yeah. Okay. So other than that, you guys, if you guys are finished with this for a minute, then I'll show you some other things. Alexza, stay with us here, but because we can come back to it again. But this has been very intriguing, very insightful. To anyone that is not appreciating this, that's your loss, because when someone has the expertise and experience that we don't have, and they come in, it's no different than when CD or Steve from True Crime Web come on. We're not the police. People that have worked as police or LE or worked like Steve and that in crime scenes or CD and stuff, those people have the knowledge. So when you can have some knowledge, at least to give you an idea of thinking or how things kind of usually go, it really truly helps. So doing this today, it really helps to put a little thought behind it, because you're right. She is an addict. And a lot of things that you wouldn't have known probably hit on point with Ashley's personality, whether we see it all or not, because we don't, us here, we don't unless you guys live beside Ashley in the jail or something or nowhere in real life, we don't know Ashley's true personality besides everything that you can get from people talking about her, perhaps, you know, anything that's online on her Facebook, even though she's deleted that to kind of show, you know, when you look at somebody's Facebook and they have a really rough crowd on their Facebook, that tells me a lot about that person already. As soon as I see certain names, I'm instantly going, oh, yeah, here we go. And then you look them all up and they all have drug charges, driving without license charges, everything, you know, underneath the sun. Oh, what Steve? What was Steve made a comment about? He said something. Steve, let me find it, dude. He made a comment. Oh, he said, do you think this was written over multiple days, thoughts on different heavy inks in sections, different instrument? Even though I know that you don't do that type of
no, but I mean, obviously for that you will have no. I don't think so. It has continuity. I mean, she shades, for example, like you can see with the crescent. I mean, she tends to shade a couple things, but I would say it was written this within the same day.
I think so as well.
I don't think she wrote it in no, and it's the
No.
same pen too. I mean, I'm not an expert. Like I said, I can't tell you the writing instruments, the kind of paper, and all that stuff. But in my opinion, I think it's the same pen. I mean, obviously, somebody in forensics would know more than I do.
My intuition tells me that this was written that day. It's almost like they were probably tweaking out. Ashley, if she wasn't involved in the actual crime, she absolutely has knowledge. Because if we think about it, if Nick Edwards implicates Jason Palladino, CJ Palladino, and Mark Palladino as people that were involved with the murders of these girls, it would make sense that, considering Nick Edwards said that Ashley Garth and Garrett Kurtz were at his apartment when Sheena Cottrell was talking about the murders. So it would make sense that Ashley would absolutely have knowledge of these because she wrote this note and it was posted on Jason Palladino's thing. And this is what I'm saying about just attaching those little things like that make sense. You know, this isn't fact or truth for sure. This is just what, to me, basically a good solid baseline to look at as an option, because there's so much connected to Garrett Kurtz, a cryptic note, Nick Edwards, and all these people, and KD and a pig at the crime scene, blah, 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 blah. It all put together makes sense. And then you introduce Kagan Klein to it. And again, it still makes sense, but not as much sense because you're still trying to figure out, okay, who was that person that went to Kagan or Tony and said, hey, I need you to do me a solid or do me whatever, pay you money, I don't care. That we need to lure Libby to the bridge, you know, because my whole theory is revenge. But again, it's a theory. It's one of, I think, a few sustainable or, you know, probability ones. It doesn't mean it's 100% accurate, but my BG will always be, to me, 100% accurate. Period. Dot. Exclamation point for that. So let me just quickly look at chat here. I think Ashley Garth and Garrett Kurtz have absolute knowledge. I think so too. I can't actually say that I can place them there that day, but I can say that they absolutely have knowledge, of course. Okay. And I'm going to take this down for a moment. And then
do I stop sharing?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Stop sharing for please, Alexa. Okay. There. We're back up here. I come back on so you don't feel lonely on there. But I'm gonna share.
At the bottom.
What, Adam?
Yeah, I don't like to be at the bottom.
Oh, Adam's at the bottom.
I will sit below these two incredible women.
Well, Kai Pai, let me just say to everyone, Kai Pai could mean a lot of things. It could mean Keegan, it could mean Palladino. You know, the R could be Ron Logan's land. It could mean Reagan, that Derek German owed money to. It could mean a lot of things. We haven't, like I said, it's all just thinking of outside of the box and what's the best thing. So like I think Miss Dog Lover, she said, like, right, she sent me a video that is called a video with the word Kai Pai in it. And then Kai Pai in my head. I mean, that one drives me crazy. Like,
Maybe that was their nickname for Keegan Klein, because
right,
his
Kai
name
Pai.
starts with a K and he likes pie.
Likes pie.
Right. Right, exactly. Honey buns, right? So, yeah, he has a YouTube channel. KD does too. Yeah, and but you know what? I'm gonna play a video, quickly, from Open Secrets, and then yeah, let's do that.
What's that
Okay.
about? What is that? What is that containing to?
It's pertaining to Garrett Kurtz talking about Jason Palladino, something to do with the Delphi murders.
All right, because I did have something to say about Ashley Garth, but I'll
Oh,
wait till
let's
we're done
go.
with that.
No, go ahead. Go for it.
Well, I did. Sorry. Okay. Well, for anyone that doesn't know, Ashley Garth was sentenced to how many years was it, Sonny?
48.
48.
Is that right?
Yeah.
40?
And she had on the 19th. There was a motion. She had a post-conviction hearing scheduled for November 2nd or 1st. On the 19th of this month, there was a motion for continuance filed by the state of Indiana, or in the state of Indiana. On the 19th, there was also then the order vacating her hearing on the 2nd of November on the defendant's motion for post-conviction relief and vacating the transport order in place. The court will reset the hearing upon motion if either party desires. On the 19th of this year as well, there was an administrative event, whatever that means, that just, and the only note attached to it says, emailed 9/9/22 order to sheriff's office. On 9/19, there was another hearing scheduled activity saying hearing on petition for post-conviction relief scheduled for 11/02/22 at 8:30 was canceled. Reason other. On 9/20 of this month, this year, there was an automated e-notice issued to the parties. Issued 9/19. Ashley Garth, Jeffrey Dale Dinsky, Stephen hearing scheduled activity. Ashley Garth. That was just, and then invalid email order issued. And then there's now been a canceled hearing on a petition for post-conviction relief.
Yeah.
And there's a transport in place.
Again, if anyone doesn't know how to use it for this, you just have to go to free court records, free Indiana court records, pull up my case, type in the name of the person, voila. But sometimes they can spell somebody's name wrong, and then it can be underneath of a different thing. So you always have to, sometimes, like, for instance, Keegan Dunker, for instance, there's one where you don't see it, but if you type in 2 E's, GAN, then you'll come across,
Right.
when he was pulled over.
Just like looking up this stuff earlier today with Renee Anthony Carino versus Anthony Carino.
Correct.
And all the difference in looking up the Renee versus looking up Anthony. So I just found the Ashley Garth stuff interesting, that it also happened in the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And that whole transport to sheriff order in place for someone that's already been convicted of a felony was interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. I thought so too. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I kind of forgot about that, because I looked it up the other night and I was like, oh, there's some movement going on here. Every now and again, you guys, if anyone's on that same basis, Alexza, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask a question. Do you have a picture of Ashley?
Adam.
Oh.
Oh, are you sure? Be warned.
Yes,
Warning.
like,
I just
in
have,
my head, I picture. I don't know. She might.
Nobody
I don't know.
leave.
Definitely not a
I just
blonde.
need a moment to take myself off screen and to mute my.
Sure. Did you say she's definitely not a blonde?
I
I
just
don't
don't
know.
want to
To
throw
me,
up on
I
camera.
don't know. To me, I don't know. Sounds. I don't know. In my head, I have a picture of her. Like maybe
What's
I
your
don't know.
picture?
She has been a blonde. Yeah.
Like a
She's a-
redhead, maybe like a
We-
dark hair, like a dark
you-
hair, like burgundy. In my head, that's what I.
Wait, but let's
You must be
not put
talking
any
about
preconceived notion in your head. She is a lady, and that's all we'll say.
She's a lady.
Wait, Adam, are you grabbing a picture of her? Because if not, I can surely help out there.
No, actually, my
Oh,
phone,
well
my phone turns on
No
to
problem.
fire when every time I pull up a picture.
No problem.
It
I got
melts.
this. I
I can't handle that much hotness.
I know. If anyone wants to pull out their puke bags now, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
And the side by sides of her and I were uncanny. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You know, I just feel like, you know, and I know it's wrong that we show one of her worst photos ever, but every time we see it, this is what makes me laugh: is people actually thought that she was the BG.
Really?
And some people actually still think that. But you know what? Let's just share you. Let's just share you.
Garrett Kurtz said it best.
Yeah, wasn't that funny? Go ahead, say it. I'm just pulling it up.
Say on a bad day, she does look like a man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But no,
he said, I can understand that.
I shouldn't be criticizing a female. I shouldn't. I've just always said she's a handsome woman.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Oh, can you see it? Oops, my bad. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah. Definitely not what I. Okay.
Pictured, right? No. You're welcome, Alexza. I mean, Sheena Cottrell has the red hair, but Miss Dog Lover says, if KD is into gaming, I wonder if he's on Twitch. Oh, probably. Anyone? Yeah. Does somebody else want to investigate that? I got enough freaking bunny rabbit holes and.
No, it's funny how in your head you think of somebody a certain way, and then when you look at them, it's completely different.
Oh
no. Stephanie, message us privately, and we will address that after the live.
Yeah.
What the hell? She just said that he was doing so well.
Well, you know how it is. You know how it can go.
Oh.
But yeah, okay, Stephanie, definitely keep it. We'll help out however we can.
Yeah, I'll talk to Shirley and you and see what's going on there. That sucks because I just literally gave an update that Shirley said that he was doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've seen enough of Ashley, but since I have this up now, we can, before the video, I might as well just show you a couple things since I have this up anyway. Okay. So, I'm missing one picture. It looks like, anyways, okay. So let's go to this. So a couple months back, I messaged, what date did I actually message? Because he responded back a couple weeks later. And all of a sudden I heard my messenger go off and I was like, oh, Nick Edwards. Oh, really? And I was like, just expecting nothing. And then I got this, what I deemed as a beautiful thing. So I said, hello, thanks for replying. Garrett told me everyone, Ashley said you and Sheena Cottrell talked about, had the murder tape of Libby and Abby. Please keep in mind, but I pretty much know the whole scenario. So I'm just wondering, who is that person that went to Kagan Klein to lure Abby and Libby to the bridge that day? He also said Tamsin R, who to talk to Open Secrets on the YouTuber Open Secrets, if you guys don't know who I'm referring to there. Look, I'm just trying to get straight to the point and just directly ask you. Would appreciate any help. Sorry, I meant Libby and Abby. So he said, Red, aka Sheena, was at my apartment and she was beyond high. Garrett and Ashley was there too, and two other people, Blake and his boyfriend. I would like to know who Blake is. And no, it's not Blake Saltz, if people hear that name. This Blake was apparently gay, and I don't know which Blake he's referring to because it says right there, Blake and his boyfriend. And I distinctly showed him a couple Blakes, and Blake Saltz was one, just to ask him. Anyways, it says Sheena was out of her mind high, going on about she was there when CJ Palladino killed those girls and she knows all what happened. I went to the cops with the information and they dismissed it because I was loaded at the time. There was never talk of a videotape unless Sheena told Garrett that I never heard of that, which could be correct because Garrett did say that Ashley and Sheena were talking about their murder tape and there was other people there. So he must have been referring to obviously Nick Edwards' apartment that day because Garrett Kurt said she just didn't say it to me and or Ashley and Sheena. No, sorry, that she just didn't say it to me. There was a whole bunch of other people as well there. It wasn't just them. So you know what? So it just dawned on me now that obviously it was Nick Edwards' apartment that he's referring to when it was being said. But that doesn't mean that they didn't already know, of course, right? Meaning so what happened was is that the girls were killed in February. And as far as Nick Edwards can remember, it was about summertime, August or July or August, when Sheena, obviously, as we were talking about Alexza, right? Women, if you're going to get information out of somebody first, it's going to be a female typically. Females, especially because we give birth to children and we know exactly what it means to have something happen to your children. And I'm sure the guilt on some of these people weighs heavily. And this is why I felt, Alexza, that Nick Edwards told me this because I feel like he wants the truth to be told. And you know, and I asked him and he gave me this answer and I'm like, thank you, dude. Like, thank you, because I've been attaching these people. Now I'm just kind of hearing it. So it was like, thank you so much, because I just felt that he released that because he has children himself, that he wants justice for the girls. So Nick Edwards probably had nothing to do with it besides the knowledge. And then he says, furthermore, no, there was never talk of a videotape unless Sheena told Garrett. I never heard of that. Furthermore, if I knew 100% who did that to them poor girls, I would go straight to the state police. I couldn't imagine those were my children. So like he said, he was high. He went to the police. He says that they basically, you know, seemed to dismiss it. And so again, right, his recollection, because I've asked him for more information and I still feel like he's holding back for sure. But I'm not really getting much more information out of him. He said he was going to talk to Ashley's aunt because she would know more, something like that. But then she blocked him. So I just really feel, and I'm grateful to Nick Edwards for at least sending me this, because to me, like I was talking about, why would you out Paladinos at all, knowing that the Paladinos are a force to be reckoned with in the drug world and in crime? Like, why would you do that knowing that people are afraid of the Paladinos? So for him to literally put the names out there and Sheena, like, that is huge, to be honest with you. So Sheena implicated the Paladinos all the way to Mark and Jason and CJ, when I said Garrett also implicated Jason to Delphi. So go back to the cryptic note, and whose name do we see at the very top of that cryptic note is Jason Clint Palladino. And Alexza, something that you might have missed, because you're not looking at it in the same light I am or we are, is that the actual presentation of the J and the P is the same presentation that you would see on the bridge. If you looked at the bridge and you looked at how the bridge crisscrosses downward, like the design of the bridge. Okay, so then we have now 1 second here. I just want to see where's.
Can I just ask you a couple questions before, because I'm kind of lost a little bit. So sure. Nick, who is Nick Edwards and who is Ashley to Sheila? Sheena?
Ashley Garth. Okay, so how it went like this. If somebody watched Open Secrets videos, Garrett Kurtz. So Ashley Garth is Garrett Kurtz on and off again girlfriend for a few years. They had a very tumultuous relationship. And so they ended up, anyways, at some point killing Nicole Bowen, in 2019. So Ashley Garth is Garrett Kurtz on and off again girlfriend. And they know, Ashley Garth knows the Paladinos. Kurtz knows the Paladinos. That's where that all connection lies. Like these people all know each other because of drugs and obviously small town, right? Small town USA, stuff like that. Basically, druggies, gangs, Kokomo crew, whatever, all the different people that are talked about when it comes to Delphi and stuff like that. So in Open Secrets, Garrett will talk about Ashley Garth and he'll drop some names. And the names that he drops, of course, is Ashley Garth, Sheena Cottrell. You would have to truly understand the full story. So Sheena Cottrell dated Jason Palladino. Okay. They were going out and then whatever, something happened because then he kind of flamed her on his Facebook. And so, but at one point they were together. Now, picture this: Sheena Cottrell lived lived within a block of Kagan Klein.
Sheena, okay.
Yeah, Cottrell. And then I don't want to confuse you but if anyone's
I'm writing it down so I don't get confused.
So in Kagan Klein's interview, you'll hear the name Dirk Hayes. Dirk Hayes is friend number 1. Yes. So friend number 1, friend number 2 is Kyle Titus. So in the house that was next door to Kagan Klein's, Dirk Hayes lived there beside Kagan Klein. That was friend 1. But also an Echo something Cottrell lived at that place as well. Okay, so when you hear this Cottrell name, it's because he's saying right here in this letter, Sheena Cottrell, right, came to my apartment. So these people are all interconnected. Yeah. So here you have Garrett Kurtz talking about Sheena Cottrell, Ashley Garth as knowing about the murder tapes. But not only them, there was other people in the room, hence Blake and his boyfriend and whoever else was there. Obviously Nick Edwards. So when you that's why Garrett Kurtz would easily fail a polygraph test, because first of all, he's just a liar in a lot of ways, but he also tells some truth in there, kind of like the writing, right? There's truth and lies that can be mixed in. Yeah. So let me play. There's I'm going to be doing a video shortly because I have a little bit more time, and I'm going to connect it a lot better in the sense of, and I've done this before in the cryptic note video I have, where you can connect Chris Mathis and Garrett Kurtz talking about the Delphi murders and about Annette and the different things. Okay. It would make more sense to you if you actually truly knew the whole layout, but most of us have spent 2 years to 5 years, knowing this information. And for me, it's like, yesterday's news because I've known about it for a long time. So when we're talking about, you'll hear Cottrell, you'll hear Garrett Kurtz and Ashley Garth the most, those names being talked about, because these are the people that were talking or posting cryptic notes. Does that make sense, or do you have anything else?
No. It makes sense.
Okay. So on CJ Palladino's Facebook page, CJ Palladino's, okay?
The brother, okay.
Okay, sorry. All of a sudden I look at my iPad and there's messages galore. Hello, nieces, if you're watching me. Okay, so let me just send 2 things. Select. Okay, I want to send. Oh, I know why. Because my iPad keeps telling me it's full and that it can't send anything. So this is on CJ Palladino's page. So does that not make you guys think of Abby a little bit? Abby Libby, I don't know. A hood. Remember how Abby was wearing a hood and she was laid down to rest with a hood, in a sense, in the kill zone spot? Sad when you see a picture like this.
Oh my God.
What? What?
I'm sorry. The stupid fly.
Oh my God.
I have a fly in this room and it is driving me, and I can't kill it. That's why I keep turning my camera off.
2 hours.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all good. That was priceless. I was waiting for you to go. I was waiting for you to say something else, obviously.
I know, like a
No,
troll or
it's
something.
stupid fly. I'm sorry.
Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Uh, so, 1 second here. Okay, so this is on CJ Palladino's Facebook. Okay, this picture, it's like his background picture on one of. Let me just say he has many of Facebook profiles. So on the date of the conference of February 22nd, 2017, CJ puts up this. Okay, on his Facebook. So that's, do not fear me for who I am, fear me for what I can do. Now, if you go back over to here, CJ Palladino killed those girls. Either way, we're hearing the Palladino name. On the cryptic note, wherever it is, here it is. And let me just show you. See how it's across? See how it's across? Right here?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, with the hook, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a little space between the cross and that. But so anyway, so again, right? All we have to do is see the boom, boom, boom. CJ Palladino name, regardless, doesn't matter. So he was probably, I don't know, was he the one in charge? I don't know, probably, to be honest with you. I don't know exactly. I'm still trying to figure out where exactly Palladino ties into the Kleins. If he was the one that went to them, on a revenge-based motive for Derek German, perhaps. Like I said, this isn't anything to do with dogging the family. This has nothing to do with that. It's just that when you live in a drug world, things like this are possible about revenge motivated stuff. And, it's about people hurting you to your core if you do things, but it doesn't mean that this is fact. It's just where the trail has always kept leading me. And I do have an open mind to other thoughts. I do look at other things. But my gut instinct always pulls me back over this way because the other trails don't seem as likely, even though they're plausible too. But my strongest instinct is based on the revenge side of things. But, like I said, I'm not 100%, on the whole storyline at all. But I think I have a decently good grasp of people that are involved in this. And I'm sure there's more. I'm just going with what information I could find that was provided by these people. So the one picture I wanted to show up was, okay. And then we all know that Kagan Klein, right? Think about this one, Alexza, right? So Mr. Chumboy there over in with his 30 charges decides that he's going to manipulate his Facebook and make it seem like he was a former games table or dealer to win Las Vegas, the California Hotel and Casino in Vegas from February 13th, of 2017 to July 2018. And I believe July 2018 is kind of when he came back home, actually, when he moved down there with Dirk into Vegas. Right. So again, just even anyone with 2 brain cells, can even figure that out. That obviously, who the hell were you stupid enough to change the date on your Facebook to February 13th, you idiot? Like, seriously, what's your thoughts on that? Just as you're a regular person. Like, come on. You literally change your date to February 13th. Actually, you know what? He changed something else there because I remember when I first looked at this Facebook, there was a February 13th and you could see where something else was added in there because it didn't have a line. It was almost like 2 things were combined into one. I distinctly remember that. Probably have a picture of it somewhere, but there was another date here and I can't remember if it was February 13th or 14th. I just know that because it was, if I recall in my head, he had 2 dates for February 13th. And I'm just like, dude, we can totally tell that you put this in there because I remember that there was no line between two of the things that he put in there. Oops, let me go to, I'm just going to quickly go to, 1 second here. Can you, so, Adam and Alexa and Devin, whatever, can you guys just talk, see if there's anything in chat you want to answer as I'm just looking about for a sec?
Mm-hmm.
No, and then I'll come back to the video.
Yeah, sorry about the flies, guy. There is a massive fly in here, and it keeps like going right past me.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I was like, "The fly's gotta die."
Yeah. Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No. So, Deb, are you sure you're not being bugged?
Yeah, it might be like a
little.
It looks like a fly, but is it really a fly?
Right. That's funny.
A drone. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm looking in the questions.
Absolutely. And again, Stephanie Robertson, well, of course, we'll keep praying for Braden and the family. I just hopped into Marvin Frank's chat for a minute while I was sitting here, and someone was like, "There must be two Aspens." So I was like, "Oop, better get to my own live. Better get back to my own live." That's true ADHD. When you can't stay on one live at a time.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm just gonna go to the ladies' room. 1 second.
But I know absolutely. But I noticed a few of you are in that chat as well.
I wish I could get my Wi-Fi going again, but I don't know what's wrong with it's Xfinity, and it's been down all day.
No
this has never
update
happened
on when
before.
No update on when they think it'll be back up. Oh, I didn't realize I was on camera.
Well,
sorry.
They've sent 2 or 3 messages, and the last one was saying that it would come on at 6 p.m. I mean, here it is, midnight the next day, and we still don't have it.
Wow.
So I don't know what the problem is.
And you did pay your bill?
It's not just me; it's everybody in our neighborhood. Yeah, if it was just me, I'd be like, "Honey, did you pay that bill?" So. I really, that was very interesting what Alexza had to say about, the handwriting. And if in fact it is Ashley's handwriting.
Yeah. There's someone's being taken over on our screen. What I wanted to say though is that I know for myself, like it's one of those things that with her information she was putting out, it was so informative and it was so interesting. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to rewatch it, so that I can fully absorb it and appreciate it.
Yeah,
because when I try to navigate multiple things like that at once, mm-hmm. It's like I can focus, like certain aspects will like stick in my brain, and then other things just are gone, like before they want to hear it. So it'll be really interesting for me to rewatch this and really process what she was saying.
Exactly. I was, of course, writing things down and looking at my own handwriting during the whole time.
And you learn you're a psychopath?
Not at all.
We should have your husband check out your handwriting there.
Yeah, he doesn't do handwriting analysis.
He might make an exception for you.
Yeah, he might. I am going to hop off here though, Sunny, because I do have to get up early tomorrow. So thank you guys. Good night. Love you guys.
Oh, good night, Deb. We will see you on Sunday.
All right.
If not sooner.
It'll be sooner. Good night, guys.
Good night. Good night, Deb. Love you.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Okay. Oh, you know what? We should probably.
Oh, Sunny, I think she's gone. Oh my goodness.
Finally, the world can be normal again. Instead, I mean, her ego is so inflated. And the blonde hair.
It should be. I mean, talk about someone that's on it.
Correct, Miss Dog Lover. It was posted on the anniversary 1 year later of the girls.
Right.
So, best I can say is that you got the cryptic note.
Cryptic.
The cryptic
note.
Yeah, you got the cryptic note. You got Palladino. You have KD as the bomb. You have small motherfucker camera, which I've shown you guys those pictures many times. And then, again, it just goes like, hey, think about where the girls were killed. Think about where the graveyard is. Does that make sense to you? But first and foremost, KD is, there you go. Hold on. Well, he's the bomb. And Adam, for me, I've always taken that as KD is the bomb. Like, good job. You know what? You rock, dude.
That's how I always assumed it was being referred to.
Yeah.
But
well, there's the mask with the knife in his hand. So this is the mask, you guys, that I say is at the that's at the crime scene. Well, I mean, I say it is, but internally I'm saying that I know it is. It's not that it's that actual mask that he went home and dug through his shit and was like, oh, look what I found. It could have just been another thing that was ordered. Perhaps not. You know what? Someone brought up a good point to me, and I'm going to say it to you guys too, because I think it was a valid point. So I'm pretty sure that I see another camera at the crime scene besides the one that I showed you guys the other day. What somebody said to me, and I can't remember who, so I apologize, was that they thought, so you know how I'm saying that the BG has a mask underneath of his chin. Everyone thinks it's a scarf or goggles, blah, 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 right? But now he didn't know he was going to be seen on news and that all that would come out. But I think, and knowing that there's like what I deem as probably pig masks and the mask and whatever, what I see is this. I actually see that what somebody said when they said that it was a set up and it was EMR that comes in our chat, and like a kill stream, like here, but somebody else was talking about this part. It wasn't EMR for this, but talking about the mask and how that it was like a show being put on, like that mask was meant to actually go on his face as part of the whole gruesome capturing of the murders on stream, or whether it was just recorded. It just seems odd that when you see, you know what I'm saying? So the masks were probably part of the video of the movie that they were creating. That made sense to me. I didn't really think of it in that light, but you know what? It made sense to me why that mask was probably there, was that it was actually meant to go, on his face. And again, the camera's going, there's cameras at the crime scene and stuff like that. It's really sickening to think about all this.
It doesn't go full. It doesn't fully go with your theory. But I mean, I was recently told that from someone that but I was recently told a rumor that that there may be another image from the video that shows a clear picture of the BG, but that he does have a mask covering half of his face.
Yeah. So wrong, but whatever. And you know what? You can put it out there, and if somebody does want to follow that line, go right ahead.
And I've heard it more. True. I was just a rumor, and
I know. I know.
But it's something that I was just I found interesting. Whether it's a half, maybe they only had the mask halfway up. At that point, maybe it was a full mask.
Yeah, the thing is that unless you've stared at 70,000 pictures, if there's a mask on somebody's face that's deterring it. So in saying that, and Adam, it's nothing against you, because people have said this stuff about a mask. Some people think that nylon's over his face.
Well, no, I'm saying a mask.
Like a neck warmer, maybe?
Halfway up. I was just saying maybe it was only pulled halfway up. That's all I was saying. So I'm saying the same thing. Maybe it's a full mask, but maybe there's a picture where it's only pulled halfway up. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a picture that nobody's ever seen before. You mean?
Yeah, and it's a rumor. Just like I said, it's
right.
A grain of salt. Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to show. Come on, stop. You know what, iPad? I just seriously hate you. You crash on me all the time. I want to divorce you. I want a new one, husband. Okay. Support Sunny. Sunny needs a new iPad. It doesn't hold enough memory. It drives me crazy. It crashes on me all the time. And I'm like, but I need you, and I need you, and I need you.
They're just like men. iPads are just like men. They freeze up and they let you down all the time.
Yeah. Right. Well,
not all of them.
Not all. There's some good apples out there. Yeah.
That's the thing. You just gotta get to the right one.
Got to get to the right one. Cherry pick a little bit. Okay. So, it's a crime of shame. No, she's talking. She's right there. She's hiding. Like she's the tiring's getting to her. She's starting to slouch down in her chair.
No, I'm actually no. I'm looking at something. I have something in my legs. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I'm gonna. So I want to show you guys this, and then again, feel free to decide for yourselves. Okay. Let me just bring it into here. I could never win if I tried with trying to debunk half of the rumors that are out there. Even when Becky says something, people still want to twist it and turn it and, say something different than what they say and stuff like that. It's too bad because it creates just a lot of, like it's especially if somebody's saying something, and then it gets twisted like telephone, telegraph, teletag. It's just too bad because Becky, I get it. They say something and then people just really twist it till it doesn't even make sense anymore. And then the stuff that people believe sometimes, I don't know.
I know. I was watching actually a channel. I don't remember what channel, but one of those weird channels. And like the stuff that we're saying about the family, I was just like, why are you victim shaming? I mean, they have gone through so much.
Oh, absolutely.
And to say those horrible things about the grandma and about the sister, I'm just like, wow, that was really low. Like really, really, really low. I actually felt dirty watching it.
I know, to be honest with you, and I don't even watch stuff hardly ever really anyway, but I definitely don't respect any. I honestly just don't respect that line of thinking at all. I think it's just, I get it that a family is the first person you look at. They've gone down that route. They're not stupid. They're not idiots that way. They've obviously looked under anything that was possible within the family, but once they rule them out, but that's just a given, right? That they have to look at the family because they're trying to figure out a crime. But it's just ridiculous how this many years later, people are still attacking the family, acting like Kelsey was somehow involved, speaking ill will of these people. And I find it pathetic, to be honest with you.
It is. It is.
Right. In this channel, we don't allow family bashing. You can say things if you like that are, in reference to a question, a simplified question, but to actually sit there and bash the family in here, no.
They already went through so much. I mean, so much trauma. I mean, that they have gone through. Why are you going to put them through more?
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
So this right here is the BG. Okay. So, Alexza, I know we were there before. This is Keegan Dunker holding up his piggy on February 13th. So what I'm trying to say is if we have this picture, we have this picture, we have the cryptic note. These are things that if I'm saying to you and through Nick Edwards and through Garrett Kurtz, if I'm saying to people, anyone out there that wants to pay attention, what I'm saying is you can attach what this is saying. You can attach KD. KD is the bomb. He's holding up a pig. He worked at a hog plant. He fits every freaking nail on the head for the BG possible. He's 5'10". He's a hunter, on and on and on. Oh my goodness. But then again, only deep divers that follow or understand, because I get it. I look at these pictures all the time. So I understand the imaging of these. So some people just look at it and go, "Ah, that's bullshit. Ah, that's bullshit," and stuff like that. So go ahead and think it's bullshit. I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to be the one arresting the, the BG or anybody else. Should that come to fruition, who knows, right? But anyway, so this is the mask I speak about on Keegan Dunker's face in that picture that I just showed you. Okay. So here we have the crime scene of the BG. Now, to be honest with you, I want you guys to know that I was literally looking at the video footage of the actual crime scene from the helicopter and not just off of Devil's Hop Yard or Delphi Confidential's video, which I know is the crime scene. But I mean, EMR had sent me some pictures and I've looked at the pictures myself before, but I never gave them as much time as I probably should have, because when EMR sent me some pictures, and that's a person that follows the chat, so thank you very much. Here's your shout out, because I do appreciate your emails, even if I cannot answer you back as quickly. When someone sends me a long email, those are things that I like to, sometimes I forget about them, but those are ones that I don't usually like to answer right away unless I actually have the time to do so properly, because there's a long email full of different things. And I just don't want to be like, thank you, bye, have a good day. So I want EMR to know that I've spent the last 2 days looking at the actual pictures of the actual crime scene that you can see from the helicopter. And so I can actually make out. So thank you, EMR, for sending me that picture, because I can tell where the people are waiting in the water, like the LE or the fire, who's ever in the water searchers. Okay, so you can clearly see that the water searchers are in the water and the crime scene's over here. You could make out certain features from the crime scene for sure. And I'm just trying to reel those in to see if I can get any other different imagery. So thank you very much. And yeah, so I'm literally looking at the actual footage from the helicopter. If anyone wants to second guess the Delphi docs for the crime scene, where I'm telling you, I'm literally looking at the actual crime scene that was captured that day by the helicopter, that you can go take yourself if you really wanted to and do this type of work if you were interested. So this mask here is this mask here. But this one's obviously sagging because it's probably on some sort of stick that's holding it up and creating it to sink in. But I think you only have to go as far as the nostrils of this mask and the nose right here to understand that this is the same mask with its little mouth and its square chin. Okay, square chin, a square chin down here. Now, here's the BG. Okay, if you tilt your head a little bit to the left, you'll see the mask. This is the nose. This is the eye area, but there's also something here. There's also some sort of electronic device that's here as well. And then this is the chin, or no, sorry, I don't want to say that that's the chin, because it looks like it comes down to the mouth here, but it's not really accurate because it's actually more so down here, but it just happens to look like nose, mouth, chin, but that's not accurate. It's when he's walking that it's rubberized or whatever you want to call it, that it's walking and moving. So again, if he didn't know he was on tape being recorded, he wouldn't think to have put it on at that point, because he was probably far enough away that he's still walking towards his targets, or the targets being Abby and Libby. Here is the BG. A nice image I have. There is the mask that's underneath of his chin. There is the Gruffalo that's on his chin. Okay. At no point do I see a mustache, but there is shadowing there, and we all know that men have a lot of stubble rubble that goes on. But this is a distorted video that you're trying to create. I'd like to see some of these other people that want to knock some of these pictures, because this is one of the hardest things to do, is to capture something as beautiful to me as this on a piece of a picture that I've managed to capture. So I don't see at all any point during this video, this 1 point whatever second video, if you're seeing his Gruffalo here, his beard, where is this mask, perhaps, Adam? And nothing to do with you, Adam, because you just put that theory out there. But I'm saying to you, I'm showing you guys, there is no mask covering his face. There's no nylon covering his face. There's no mask that's pulled over. His mask is right here because there's his Gruffalo chin beard, right? And we all know Mr. Gruffalo chin beard and his little shadowing, right? So go back to it again. Gruffalo chin beard, you know, a little bit longer here, obviously. You can tell because my husband gets that too when it gets longer, whereas this is more freshly shaven. Okay. Now, even if you didn't believe it was KD here, even though KD is the mom, then we still have this picture. So when you guys are looking at this, can you guys see for yourselves that this is the chin, this is the mouth, there's a microphone, something that's in front of his mouth there, and then this is the Gruffalo. That's probably like one of the best images I can show you up close and personal of a chin mask, a photo. So do you guys get it? How the mask right here is under his chin. And if you look at the mask here, down here, whoops, sorry, my bad. Here and here, this area here, which is tucked underneath of his chin as he's walking in a sense, is this area here.
100%.
That makes sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's why I don't think you were understanding what I was saying earlier about there being a picture possibly before the video starts.
Correct.
Where he just pulls it down.
Right. And there possibly could be something out there, Adam. We've never ever seen it.
Know. Doesn't matter to me.
But I'm not going to personally add something in there unless I've personally seen it. And I would, you know, and that just goes for anything, right?
Of course not.
If it's not out there,
giving credence to it being a mask versus a scarf.
You know, yeah, it's kind of like out there, you know, just so many things that people can say and whatever. And unless I see something that kind of can prove that there is another picture out there, it's possible that, I mean, it's possible, but it's,
you know, and the only reason I brought it up is because they gave it credence for it being a mask versus a scarf or something else.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
You know, and Alexza, I know that
you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm just here to fight for the truth. That's it. Of course.
Same.
You know, that's all
I
we're
don't care
here
anything
for.
about BG.
Yeah. You know, I'm just here to fight for the truth. I showed you guys this picture of Keegan Dunker. Okay. Keegan with a pig. I showed you this picture recently that I put out there. Okay. Mole underneath of his eye. Mole right here. He has multiple moles. It's just, I'm just enhancing a couple right here. So the same mole that's right here, that's right there, that's right there, that's right there. Okay. So look at the squareness if you want to do it that way. Look at how it's coming across almost like square, a little bit pixelated, whatever. Well, same thing that's happening here. It's coming off a little bit squarish, you know. But if you guys really want to delve into, you know, KD and his mole faces, or don't, I don't care. I'm just showing you how connection.
Right.
Connection.
No.
What, Adam?
Well, you popped up Ashley Garth without.
I know. I just wanted to make you hot, and you know, wanted you to do something. Yeah.
Yeah, scare me that way.
Yeah, and remember, you guys, I'm still looking to figure out which footwear that the BG was wearing that day. This is an emblem on the side of some sort here. This is an eyelid. This is the stitching. Anybody can come back to this video, look at the stitching. You're going to want to find something very similar to that has some sort of round, like this is the leather patch here. And then there's an emblem inside, but this is the best I can come up with so far. But it gives you a thing. And I thought the closest thing that I came across was perhaps the Keen, you know, if you look at this, but it could be wrong. I'm just trying to find whatever this footwear is. It's definitely not the Packer boots. No. And so I would like to play that video now for you, if I could, from Open Secrets, Alexza.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How long is it?
Just a couple minutes.
Cool.
Do you need? Yeah, just a couple. Yeah, moly. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off my camera. I'm gonna play it. Just one sec.
messages that Nicole was trying to reach out and tell her sister what happened. And I'm assuming with Ray. You're saying that Ashley was like, we got to get rid of her. Like, that's how she was jealous, but she made it seem like she was going to ruin your life. And so all these things, in the heat of the moment, it happened. Because
among another person.
What's that?
Huh?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said among another person. There was another person involved too that made an executive decision that she had to go to.
Why is that person so anonymous when you're not? You're being trampled all over the fucking planet right now.
I mean, I've done said, but I mean, I can tell you this much. It's rumored through the grapevine that the person I'm talking about was one of the people involved in Delphi, and I'm not going to implicate that person and then get one of my family members killed, if that makes sense.
Wait a minute. Yeah, but that makes sense. But that scares me, Garrett. Who is this fuck? Okay, don't tell me who he is. I just want to know, why is he so scary? What's so scary about him? Why are you scared?
Connections he's got. I mean, because he actually used to fuck him. That's why. And like I said, I mean.
Listen, Garrett, this is no.
I don't even know why. I just told you that, but.
Well, okay, listen. Think about it. Why would you keep that a secret right now? Why would you keep somebody else's name? That's crazy. In my opinion, I'm not telling you what to do, but you need to not do that. That's crazy. I'm just going to tell you straight up. That makes zero sense if you're looking out for your best interest.
Well, I'll use it for ammo, I guess, whenever they come talk to me.
Or maybe, do you think this person could be that person? Because if that's the case, you need to say something, Garrett. I'm sorry, but you need to realize that.
I understand that they can, but what they can prove and what everybody says are two different things, Sarah.
No, I know, but if you do have some knowledge, and this person obviously has some connection, and somebody else is going to get hurt. So maybe you should talk to your attorney today about whoever that is. You should not be protecting anyone, Garrett. You have nothing to gain by doing that. Nothing. This is so fucked up.
Yeah, I know. I know. Tell me about it.
No, but this is not working out for you by keeping the anonymity. I understand that you're maybe looking after your nephews and your family, but this isn't helping anybody. Obviously you're frightened, but you can't be. You have to have courage right now. You have to, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we got 26 seconds.
Okay, so Alexza, are you with me? Who is talking to Kurt? Okay, so Open Secrets, that was, I want to tell you guys, okay, if you guys want to, oh shoot, I closed it off, darn it. That was, I believe it was part 11, and it was about 3/4 down. I can't remember if it was the 8-minute mark, something like there. Okay. So anyways, so we know that Garrett Kurtz is talking about Palladino. And the reason why we know this is because Garrett Kurtz in an online tabloid, he mentions Palladino making an executive decision. That's why the reference to executive decision, and that he heard it was rumored that he was one of the people involved in the Delphi murder. And I keep saying this till I'm blue in the face, but why would there's only 2 people talking about Delphi murders that have literally brought stuff up, and that's Chris Mathis. And Chris Mathis is the one, Alexza, that says, I wish Garrett would talk about, I wish Garrett would tell the whole story. And it would be sweat off his back. Now, as he's talking about it, he's talking about the Delphi murders. Alexza, when somebody is talking and Chris Mathis is talking, and then he's thinking about his family and the threats, because what Chris Mathis says is he has connections. He can reach out and touch wherever he wants to.
He's afraid. Yeah. Like something's going to happen to his family. Yeah.
But as he's talking about his girls, he literally swoops in and says, look what happened in Delphi. He's talking about Garrett Kurtz, and then he swoops in. So you know how somebody's mind works. You're all the thing talking about your kids, and then the Delphi image comes in because he knows it's guilty knowledge, right? So he says, look what happened in Delphi. And then he's like, I wish you would say the truth, tell the whole story, blah, blah, blah. Then you got Garrett Kurtz over there talking about Palladino and talking about Ashley and, how, oops, I just said that he screwed her. Oops, my bad. And then he sits there and he goes, I don't know, because he has connections. You kidding me? Garrett Kurtz himself, I'm sure, is scared of the Palladinos. If not, he's, and so that's why he's like, well, if I need to, I'll use it as ammo. If you talk about the Palladinos, you're probably good as dead.
Yeah. And not so much him. I think he's afraid of his family. I guess his nephews and his nieces.
Well, because the thing is, we all know how that really works. Like, it doesn't take a rocket science whether you're in it or not. Again, anyone watching typical crime stories on TV, that whether it's a cartel or the drug lords, whatever, I'm going to take you, I'm going to take your family, I'm going to make you in pain, whatever. So that I just wanted to show you guys that because, again, I'm not chasing my tail between my legs when I talk about Jason Palladino. I'm using all the information that's at my fingertips about what other people are talking about, and I'm just putting the puzzle pieces together. And I'm doing it the best I can, but yet knowing full well that the puzzle piece is still not a complete, completely put together. It's just it's been slowly coming together between the cryptic note, the KD, So what did you think about that interview with Garrett Kurtz? Like just from not saying you're a psychologist here, but just from the standpoint of how he was talking there, like, maybe I'll use it as ammo.
Yeah, it's obviously he knows something. It's just he's afraid to say it. And then I guess he's saying, like the way you think. I think he's saying, I'm gonna keep shut, and I guess when I need it, I'm going to take it out and use it for my own benefit. Could be I'm assuming it would be his own benefit, like ammunition, I guess.
I was going to say, because there's...
It could also be that maybe if something happens to his family, also he can say what he knows about I guess, Delphi, and that person can get in trouble.
Right. The thing is, it's just like what I've pulled up here is about Nicole Bowen, Alexza. This is where Palladino's name's implicated as well in the killing of Nicole Bowen. He's been lucky so far that he hasn't been charged with anything. Little bugger. But anyways, so where is this? I'm looking.
He was there, wasn't he there when she was killed? I think
No.
No. Okay.
No. Not that we know of.
Okay.
Not that we know of.
Because I think I read something and it said that somebody, I guess, brought her. Maybe that was Ashley that brought.
Say that again, Alexza.
No. The girl that got killed. What's her name?
Nicole Bowen.
Nicole. Yeah. No. So then no, because I was reading an article and I thought they said there was two people, but maybe it was Chris Mathis. Maybe I think. I get confused with the names.
I'll explain quickly that one. So Nicole Bowen had dated Garrett Kurtz. Yeah. I still think that she was being used, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that Garrett Kurtz, that's a lie right there. I mean, obviously she's way better looking than Ashley Garth, but I think that she was used. And the reason I think that she was used is because they weren't really dating that long. And then so this right here, just for instance, this wording right here. So this is Ashley Garth's appeal document. And one of the appeals that was brought up was the talk about Jason Palladino and his involvement. And so right here, for instance, it says, over the course of 2 months, Garth Kurtz and Kurtz's friend Jason Palladino had a couple of conversations about getting rid of Bowen, right? And on March, so there's stuff that's been taken down from Kurt's Facebook, but you see that Kurt's and Kurt's friend Jason Palladino. So when Chris Mathis says he can reach out, you guys don't know about, like, that guy can reach out. He has connections. He's talking about Garrett Kurtz having connections, which he's talking about Palladinos, right? So at the end of the day, I feel like Garrett Kurtz, being a tool that he is at times, he totally was pissed off probably that Ashley was sleeping with the dude, and was like, oops, did I just say that Ashley and Jason were fucking each other? Oops, did I just say that out loud? Because obviously you have to think of when the interview was, and it was in 2019 that the interview happened, whereas the girls were killed. But just in this one itself, right? It says about the executive decision. Well, here it says, so over the course of the 2 months, Garth Kurtz and Kurt's friend Jason Palladino had a couple of conversations about getting rid of Bowen. So Kurtz, Bowen, and Talitha Beckley were at Palladino's house. Palladino told Kurtz that they had to make a decision. So Kurt said executive decision. Here it says to make a decision. Close enough. Doesn't matter if it was one or the other. That Bowen has to go, and that thank you very much. I miss Dog Lover again. Thank you very much. Sunny, have you heard Kitty's voice? Is it anywhere? Yes, you can. I've played his voice for you, but you could literally go to his Facebooks. Keegan Dunker, he has 2 of them. Okay. And then he has a third one called Keegan Allen. And you can go to his YouTube channel. Just type in Keegan Dunker and you'll see his YouTube channel as well that he has a couple videos on. So it's not confidential. It's not confidential. And then on his Instagram, you'll see Garrett Kurtz and him having a drinking party conversation as well. So it's readily out there if you really do want to listen to that for sure. So, but anyway, so it says once at the trailer, Bowen and Kurt sat on the couch, used math, blah, blah, blah. Garth came out of the bedroom, exchanged words with Bowen, which escalated into a fist fight. So there's probably a lot of lying going on with all this that exactly happened. Kurt likes to think that he's truthful. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that hilarious?
Well, so no pathological, you know, the
right. He's Open Secrets calls him a pathological liar. And I believe he's a pathological liar. And a stupid one at that, to be honest with you. I think he's only as smart as his drug smarts, street smarts that way. He would never stand up toe to toe with people that are in the real world of, crime, police officers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's only kidding himself to people that are psychologists or anyone that has, like I said, can use critical thinking. So do you understand where my whole line of
I can see it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Adam, do you have anything else to add on that?
No. I mean, I'm glad you brought critical thinking because I mean, that's like that's my core thought is between that and questioning everything I think and see and look at.
Right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, go ahead. Miss
Dog Lover said, 100%. What they did to Nicole was horrific.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And they deserve to rot in hell for it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Alexza, or even Adam, and we'll revisit Adam's opinions on this too. So, if the crime scene at Delphi was staged to look a certain way, then it really, in a sense, and Garrett Kurtz himself has killed another person, which is Ray Hanish. So Nicole Bowen was killed March 31st. Ray Hanish was of 2019. Garrett Kurtz killed Ray Hanish on they found his body, Ray Hanish's body, on March 17th, but he was really killed on the 13th. Heaven forbid we should keep hearing these 13 dates, I swear to God. But anyways, so Garrett Kurtz admits to Open Secrets that he staged Ray Hanish's crime scene. So just off the top of your head, they kill Nicole. Garrett Kurtz gets Chris Mathis to be ride pony with him, as you know, to go hide. It was one of the people to go hide the body of Nicole. They dump her off on this in this trailer, and that's why hence a lot of people, if you ever hear people reference the shack when Doug Carter talks about the shack, so a lot of people reference it, and I don't believe it's the same reasoning, but whatever. They dump her off in this trailer that's like a shack. And it's like a hunting shack, like, you know how somebody takes a trailer and then kind of makes it into a hunting shack. So now the thing is that, and we've had the person on our show, and he's already put himself out there that he actually turned them in. One of the people that didn't get charged, that was at the crime of where Nicole Bowen was murdered, was not there during the actual killing of Nicole. He was never charged, but he's actually the person that called in to say that, hey, I know who killed, like I was at this trailer, Nicole Bowen's, and Ashley Garth, Garrett Kurtz, blah 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 blah. So Garrett Kurtz is arrested on April 3rd. What's my thing? I'm going to ask you yours and Adam's thinking. So what's your thinking about this? Garrett Kurtz did have something to do with Delphi, or at least part of the planning or whatever. It was staged. Ray Hanish, he claims that it was staged. Why wasn't Nicole Bowen's staged?
Because it was a crime of passion.
They plan to go back. I think they plan to go back the next day and move her.
I absolutely do too. I believe that exactly. Trust me, when a crime of passion, if it was a crime of passion, Alexza, for sure, it would be because Ashley Garth.
But not just, it doesn't mean just like, like in the romantic sense, like he had a talk, like it was, how can I say this? It was, he had to eliminate her. Like he had anger towards her and he had to eliminate her. I think, in my opinion, I think that's why it would.
Well, I left out something. Garrett Kurtz said that Nicole Bowen had to go because she was going to rat them out for the drug mouth. Probably a lot of truth to that too, to be honest with you. I think, but anyways, so my thing is this, is that I kind of think with Adam is that I think that they planned on going back the next day, but she was found because a phone call went there. And then Garrett Kurtz was arrested. So there was no time to go back and then stage the death. I think it would have been staged. The likelihood of that would have been staged. But I know, Alexza, that you just don't know the same story.
Yeah, of course. Just because I did this doesn't mean I'm 100% either.
Well,
but
no, because. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask a question. But when you mean stage, do you mean stage the crime scene? You mean the body? What are we talking about?
Well, in Delphi, we know that there's, say, a bunny there, that there's staging. They're presenting something.
Crime scene.
Right. And so it would make sense, again, about the mask, having a mask and creating a movie type of thing. But at the end of the day, it's staged. Same with, say, Ray Hanish, that even though that one sadly will probably never get the proper.
He's the one that they said that he was sleeping. He was sleeping with him, right? That he had like a sexual encounter.
Right, that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And when Open Secrets ask him, "Are you gay?" and he's like, he looks at her and he gives her this look and goes, "No." And I was just like, "Dude, you're such a liar."
Because, I mean, he probably is, but he's, I guess, ashamed. For whatever reason, he shouldn't be. You own what you are, and
who knows if he was bisexual or whatever he was. Not bisexual. Is that what it was called, Adam? Bisexual.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually Bisexual Awareness Day. I heard earlier.
Is that? Well, there we go. Garrett Kurtz.
There we go.
Yeah, Garrett Kurtz is a switch.
I've come out.
Yeah. So, Alexza, going back to you, because we haven't really touched on this. So, I know we said that we would talk about a little bit of a mini talk about the profiling of the BG. Do you want to get into that? And then I know, because I know you're so tired and I can feel it, I can hear
Yeah,
it.
I've got to go soon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, we can save it for another day. If you want, we can touch a little bit.
Just maybe a brief, just because it was in the title and I feel
Yeah,
bad.
sure.
Just a brief, and then we'll go. You guys will do a live based around the profiling, like the whole live about the profiling of the BG in a bigger way.
Well, you basically what it is that every time somebody kills, you have to put them. You do a psychological analysis, and also you do the crime scene, and you look at everything, so to see what kind of a criminal he is. So obviously you have your serial killers, you have your mass killers, your spree killers, all that, right? So let's say with him, you want me to say specific about the beach? Well, I don't want to call because we don't know. Okay, the killer, the Delphi killer. For me, in my opinion, this is my opinion. So now there are different types of killing. Okay, so there's the ones that are like the visionary killers, that people that have hallucinations, and they say the devil made me kill kind of thing. That's one of the types. Sorry. I don't know why my kids are up now. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning for you
I
over there,
know.
isn't it?
I was here. One of them, like I can hear my husband's like, "No, don't go down." He's, she's still going. Then you have like the mission-oriented killers, that they have a mission, like the title says, like a mission, like the ones that like for example, they kill Asians, or they kill prostitutes, and in their heads they believe that if they kill prostitutes, they're doing something good for society, right? And then you have what we call the power, then you go into the power control killing, the lust killing. Sorry, so this is strange. And so the lust killers are the ones that kill because they want to kill. It could be sexual. For some reason they have like a sexual fantasy. Doesn't mean that they have to rape. Not all the time they rape. So I'm just giving you a little bit of background so you can understand better. What else do they have? So what else? Lust killers. What's the other one? Okay. So I personally believe that this killer in Delphi, I believe he is a lust killer. I believe that he had an agenda. He knew, I think it was a little bit of a sexual crime for him. Sometimes I go back and forth because I can say it could be the power, the control, the type of killers. And that actually, on paper, that probably would match better, because the power control ones are the ones that they kill for power. It can also be like a gratification, but they also, and specifically, they take trophies. So I think on paper, probably that one, the control killer.
That sounds more realistic to what we know.
Yes, I mean, I have my doubts, so I always believe, but I think it's a little bit of both. I think he, in his personal life, and that's another thing, the control killers, they are the ones that they can pass as normal people, like you don't even suspect, you might not suspect that they might be killers. They blend in with the society better than the lust killers. I mean, sometimes I go back and the only reason I always go back and I say he might be a lust killer is because she was naked. And I think for me, I think the fact that if you find a body and it's naked, you have to think about why is it naked, and why she, why not, and especially with two, why not the other girl? So to me, I think in my head, I think he might be more of a lust killer. I think he had either a sexual fantasy or something, even though they were not rape. they were not touched, but I think it was about it was fulfilling a fantasy for him in a sexual way. And that's why Abby was nude. And then he covered her. I believe, I mean, there's rumors, obviously, we don't know. And then he covered half of her. So to me, it's almost like, yeah, so that tells me that in a way, he kills her, but then he doesn't want to look at her anymore. So like I said, on paper, he looks more like a control killer.
Absolutely.
But to me, I always thought that is a lust killer. It's definitely one of those lust killers. And I know a lot of people have said that he might be a visionary killer, but I don't think so. I think this is a killing that he did this for his own gratification, his own fantasies. I think it has something to do with the child pornography thing. I think that there's, Kagan is involved in here somewhere, somehow. And I always believe that.
Alexza, you're accidentally, I think you're accidentally, you just accidentally deleted Anna's comments and hit her. It might have been an accident.
Oh my God, I don't even have.
I just wanted to make sure Anna knew it was an accident.
Oh yes, I had my paper on top. Look.
No, it's okay. I just saw that was happening.
Yes,
I was
I'm so sorry. See,
I knew that wasn't intentional, so I just wanted to make sure.
No, I tell her I'm so sorry. I love her. I don't even know.
You're fine. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted.
No. Thank you. I'm gonna close this because I think my phone is spastic.
Yeah.
Because I always had a piece of paper.
You know what, Alexza, you know what? We're going to leave the rest for the live specifically about the profiling more so. And like I said, about Delphi, correct. But, we all know that in general that there's certain things. I'm not going to go towards the lust killer at all. I absolutely believe, and I'm just going by my own thoughts. I think the control one sounds more spot on to what we know, but that doesn't mean it's factual either, because I get it. But I'm thinking about the cameras and the purpose of making a movie that go more in line with control, power, revenge, basic, and basically a big FU to a certain person. That just seems more in line
with lust killers. They tend to kill with knives, and they don't like using guns. They prefer to use knives over.
Well, exactly. So stuff like that we'll dive into next time. Exactly, because like I said, you know what, you're the expert. So even doesn't mean you're 100% right on what you're saying. It's like anything. You're taking your best guesstimated
well,
thing.
You know what it is also with this thing is that we don't have too much information. And when you make these assumptions, you go and you look at the crime scene. And like I told you, like the crime scene is so important because that's how you can tell. Like I told you, you can tell from, let's say, from the blood splatter. You can see, the height, and you can assume many things. So you have more idea. You have, if they find debris, if they find, dirt and different samples, it's easier. So you can tell, okay, this is the kind of person, that was transferred, whatever. But in this case, we don't know anything. And you're basically assuming out of rumors. Some of them are rumors and some of them is from the affidavit, I guess. Right? I believe so. Yeah, that's where.
Can you answer this question for Alexza, for Anne? Are you at all struck by the brazenness of the crime? Broad daylight, winter, there's no leaves covered under the bush. Other people in the park area. Plus, there is a home that's right across the riverside. Remember, because Kate, just maybe answer that, and I'm going to show how Google.
Definitely, that is like the first thing that, and I said last time, I think he's a psychopath that he didn't even take into consideration. I think he was so sure of himself, and I think in his head he planned it so well. He was that cocky that he knew that he could pull it off. I think this was a person that definitely knew the area very well. Definitely maybe study the area very well, because they can, sometimes they show up. a couple days before, and sometimes even after the murder, they keep going to the same place. So I think he probably scoped the place very well, and he knew that maybe there were people, but definitely, but even like I said, it's not that that you don't have people. I mean, he took a big risk, so that says a lot about his personality. That means that he doesn't care, but at the same time, it's very scary because that means that, to me, I don't know if it's a serial killer. I cannot tell you. I don't think so, because obviously there haven't been other kills in the area with similar, and that's usually how that's how that's how you know a serial killer. But I do believe that either he killed before, or he studied this for a long time. But I have a feeling that he probably had killed before. And
Well,
animals, he has killed animals before.
Yeah. And again, it's a little bit complex because we know that there's more than one person involved just for the fact that Kagan Klein's in it. We don't know that the BG did the actual killing, really. Again, it's just,
but I do believe that even though there's multiple people, I think the killing itself, it's only one person.
Correct.
I think it's one person.
I think so too. Yeah, well, then it's one person, and so that person I would agree with. If I think of more of a CJ Palladino, let's just hypothetically say CJ Palladino, I could picture, like I'm thinking about the different knives that were used. I'm thinking about his personality. I'm thinking about, like who is the most likely out of those names that would do that work in a sense. And I could be wrong, right? I'm just going kind of off of what Nick Edwards said there too. I'm just trying to think of, at the end of the day, if it was a Palladino, and not say the actual BG that you see on the bridge, who is the most likely candidate that would do it and have almost like no conscience, really?
Yeah.
That would strip somebody down, not touch the other one. All I keep picturing in my head is like a movie playing out that this is like how I feel, like Miracle Hearts. Could be a dual motive, revenge kill plus let's make a snuff film. She's gonna right. I see it as the best of both worlds myself. That's how I kind of see it.
And
I
also,
see it.
sorry to interrupt. Also, you have to understand that this is the one thing that sometimes people don't understand, is that with serial killers and killers in general, they don't think like you and I, and they don't have, even physically and mentally, they don't have that right from wrong. And this is why I truly believe this person is a psychopath. He doesn't know right from wrong. He doesn't, like, just from the thing that he went at 2:00 in the afternoon to kill. And he took that risk. You can tell, you can get into his psyche and see how he's a risk taker, and he's that confident. He is that good that he wasn't going to get caught, and he was going to get. And like I told you, I personally believe that he knew that both girls were going to be there, because I think if he would have not known, it would have affected him. He would have become sloppy, because those people are like that. They're very ritualistic. They have a plan, and if anything goes out of the ordinary, it goes down south. So I personally think he knew both were going to be there, and he knew that they had to get rid of both of them. One for being there, and the other one what he had to do.
Yeah, like on the screen here, I too, Jenny, think if anything, because of who's on the note, it's probably more like Jason Palladino. That's Jason Palladino. And obviously no ego whatsoever, thinking that he's all built up and has all these muscles. CJ Palladino has a lot of muscles.
How many brothers are there? Is it 3 or 2? 2, right?
I think that there's more. I can't remember. I know there's a sister.
But like the ones we know, it's okay. So it's, who's the one in jail? There's one in jail, right?
Yeah, this one right here.
That one, okay.
And the father
is
in jail.
The father.
Yeah.
What a family.
CJ Palladino is the one that put up the don't fear me for who I
Yeah.
am, fear me for what I can do. And the girl with the hood on her head with the
Yeah,
blood,
with the
coming down her face. But CJ, where am I here? Sorry, I don't even know where trying to find my way back. There we go. Okay. So yeah, CJ, oh yeah, scary, scary. I love how people, it always, okay, you guys, I just want to say this out loud. Never take a picture in the bathroom, in the mirror, when the darn right mirror is filthy, stinking dirty. It says a lot about who you are. It just does.
Mm.
You know, if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's when somebody takes a mirror,
But then
takes a picture
again,
in the mirror.
see how you're thinking? You're thinking of you, a
Yeah,
normal person thinking. They are egotist, like their ego, and like they don't have that in their head. Is I am just gonna look really good, but they don't care that the mirror is dirty because they don't have that capability of
right.
thinking like us.
Yeah,
They're not like us. That's why they're killers. They are differently. They're physically they're different than us.
yeah,
They don't have that, so they
yeah,
completely think differently, and they
yeah.
act differently. So it's truly scary. I think it's it's
I
truly
do,
truly.
yeah, and Jenny, the reason I don't think that KD was actually the killer of the girls is the reason I'll tell you is this. Because to me, it just makes sense that anyone that has a camera on their head and they are the person doing what they're doing the whatever the grunt work of it. You're the person that lures, in a sense. You're the person that traps them. There, I got the camera. You're shooting footage. I can't really see the gun coming out. Here, let me just multitask video and this and that. I personally don't think so. I'm trying to picture, even in the first place, one guy taking two girls across the water, gun, camera on head, having to watch where he walks, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't make sense to me. Um, it makes sense when you look at the scope of it all, that there's cameras in different spots of the crime scene, that there's a camera on his head, whatever on his shoulder, whether it's a walkie talkie thing or a camera thing, looks more like a camera thing. Regardless, this, for me, that's telling me that, right, that person is kind of that person capturing stuff. I just can't see it. Can you see someone sitting there killing someone and, here, let me just stand back and make sure I capture all this like this? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Is it unheard of? Probably not, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense when you see Jason Palladino's uh, name on the list. You see Nick Edwards talking about the Paladinos. It doesn't make sense. I just look for what makes the most sense. Doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that KD was a watcher. I think KD had a purpose. Right? Everyone, whenever somebody tries to give credit to the BG for being smart and all this stuff, I'm just laughing internally inside, because I think that's the most absurd thing to think that. And that's only if you're on a one track mind of that one person was responsible for all this. But and each to their own, right? For me internally, I laugh because I'm just like, no way in hell someone staged all this crime scene, set up a bunny rabbit, set up cameras, did all this, set up all this stuff, killed the girls all within that short period of time, managed to capture them, take the video, have a mask, walk them down on the bridge, and heaven forbid that they went easily, right? I'm sure that they didn't just go easily, but and they could have gone easily if there's multiple people there that they really had nowhere to go. But it's what makes sense out of it all. And that's
Do
how I see it.
do you know if KD is he left-handed?
He's left.
I was gonna say, because one thing that caught my eye is that if that's a gun, if the gun is if you can see the gun is on his right hand, like on the right side of his body. So I was thinking if the killer or the BG, I guess, would
The
be
right hand
left-handed, because
facing
the
the
person
video.
right-handed would put it, yeah. You know how when he's walking on the bridge, you can kind of see the outline of the gun on the right side of his body. So I'm
Oh
thinking
yeah,
it
on
has
the
to be
right side.
yeah, it has to be a left-handed person, because
Yeah,
that way they grab it like this. Otherwise, they would have it on the left. Like us, for right. I'm
right.
right-handed. You would have it on your left hand, and he has it on
Exactly.
the left side.
Yes. So just like me, I'm left-handed. So that's why I can look at Kagan and look at his different pictures, how he's holding a phone, and know that you flip around and he's left-handed. So, and I remember hearing about the BG having green eyes and being left-handed a long time ago, and I was like, well, fancy that.
I just
That he's
remember somebody
left-handed
said,
and
I
my
mean, like I said, rumors. And like I always said, early rumors, you always pay attention because sometimes they tend to be true.
well,
But
right,
somebody said that the brown eye, that he didn't have blue eyes.
blue eyes,
That was
exactly.
the thing.
That was, I believe, the person that was talking to him. The person, like one of the people, like over at Kay Weber's house, the dog walker or something like that. But either or, I keep that in my bank of goods. And but I remember hearing that something about the BG being left-handed, something about green eyes, and I was like, well, they're not blue. But anyways, it's just something I remember. And he's moly, 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 moly. Yes. So it's just all that stuff, right? Hunter, 5'10", worked at Packers, pig kills, 5'10". Like there's just so much. I don't even know where to stop, to be honest. Because again, I pull up the face mask or the freaking Halloween mask. I'm showing you gruffled chin, moles, you name it. At what point for me do I go, when do I stop showing this stuff? Because it's just so repetitive. But if one person walked away today going, Sunny, I get it. I get it. I get the fact of who you're saying the BG is. That will make me happy. Right? Because
And how do you connect? So, I mean, I don't mean to interrupt you. So how do you connect KD with KK? Do you think there's a connection, or do you think that?
yeah. Well, I don't know. So I don't exactly know. There's a couple different ways he can come in, to be honest. He can come in through the Brummett side, because he obviously knows the Brummets, the Frankfurt side, like meaning these people all know a lot of people. The simplest way to understand is the fact that Garrett Kurtz, from the Garrett Kurtz side. So the Paladinos know the Klein side over there through Sheena Cottrell, through those people knowing each other. I've always struggled to find the answer of exactly how, besides Garrett Kurtz, which is a natural, easy one, because so Keegan Dunker and Garrett Kurtz are really good friends.
Yeah,
Like,
they went to
right.
school together, right?
Correct. So Austin Popejoy is another attachment that Keegan Dunker both knows, and Austin Popejoy went to school with a Klein, one of the Kleins. Okay, meaning Keegan Klein. I don't know if they were in the same grade. So when we can attach the Popejoys, we could do it that way. But everyone, it's so strange because it's like everyone doesn't seem to know who Keegan Dunker is, in a sense. It's like I've even talked to close friends of Garrett Kurtz, and I'm like, but you guys, how do you not know? So I think that there's complete avoidance of even his name being mentioned, because it just seems ridiculous to me that I can see all these posts with Garrett Kurtz and know that Kagan Dunker said happy birthday to Austin Popejoy, and all these people just suddenly don't know. But I also deem Keegan Dunker as a lay low person. He is that person that more hides behind the scene, and he's not out front. He's more of the introvert than the extrovert. And Garrett Kurtz and Ashley Garth and some of these ones, they're just out there killing other people. They're just out there talking and talking and talking. That's not Keegan Dunker. Keegan Dunker is get the freaking stuff off me. Sunny's some freaking psycho that lived beside me, did drugs, moved up to Canada and stuff like that. Take it off of me. And then that's where you have these idiots that are making these channels and stuff like that, trying to be distracted to the truth. And you can see it, I'm not even going to get into those losers, but you can see that there's distractions going on. And I don't care. Come, go distract all you want with your stupid channels or whatever you want to do. You know what? We just want the truth to be told. We want the truth to be heard. We want justice for the girls. I will fight for that, till I'm blue in the face.
And for you, like motive, what would the motive be then, KD? is
The motive
Mhm.
was money,
money.
money, absolute money. Money to, obviously money buys drugs.
Yeah, of
Money
course.
buys a lot of things. This is one of those cases that goes back to sniff where the money's coming from. Where's the money coming from?
So
In a
money because they were going to make a movie, and the movie they were going to sell it. Is that the line that you're
Well,
going?
okay, so revenge being meaning that the revenge would be against the father of Libby, because of the fact of all these people that are in drugs and money in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they like these people aren't stupid. They're street smart this way as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like meaning they might not be like in the real world of people and
Oh,
the
no.
white
Yeah.
collars, these are blue collars here. And so in their world you can see it where it's like, well, okay, so if I do this, what else can we get out of it? Well,
Mm-hmm.
we can get a snuff film, or we can get a kill stream live. We could get this out of it. Big bucks, big bucks. There's a lot of people that pay for that crap. Sick,
Yeah.
sick, sick. These people of the dark web, I'm sure Kagan Klein was surely a dark web surfer, dark web knowledge. When someone is like him that spends that kind of time on a computer and does what he's doing with the whole Dropbox, CSAM, okay, he's going to be pretty much into that dark web stuff for sure.
Yeah.
He's playing like he's an idiot in a lot of
Oh
ways.
no, he's
He's not.
very smart. No,
When it
no, he's
comes
not.
to when you involve yourself, it's no different than me. Back in the day, I could literally tell you how to emulate time. I could use programs that would manipulate time, that would give money because they had pay to surf things. I could tell you how to do that because why? I spent all this time getting to know people. That wasn't my intention, just came across it. I was like, oh, and this is back in the day before you guys, most of you guys probably even knew about that stuff, or a lot of you guys
Yeah.
paid to surf things or whatever. Paid All Advantage, you guys, the jackpot.com, right? I was raking in checks left, right, and center because there was no control by the internet. There was
Mhm.
nothing, no laws really. So I was just manipulating time. Oops, 25 hours, no problem. Do that in 30 seconds. Thank you. So when you are somebody that's in the CSAM and you're doing all that stuff, like I said, that's you. That's your forte. That's what you know. You're good at he's good at what he was doing, in a sense. Dumb, but yet he was they were earning cash. So I think of it as a multi-purpose killing. That two things came out of it: payback and money, revenge. But I think that the ulterior thing, of course, will always be money and drugs, but always follow the money. That's how I see it. Oh, hi. You know what? Shit. Hey, Adam, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I've just been listening. Sonny, did you want to see my selfie in the mirror?
I would like that. Yeah. No. But
Yeah,
sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah, you guys know this. Get me talking on the BG, and I can sit there for hours. But Adam, I totally forgot you were like down there because I just did. I'm sorry. I love you.
That's why I play for the team I do, Sonny.
On there.
Totally,
But yeah,
because you totally forget I was down there.
I know. Is that pretty at the bottom? Because you know how when you put stuff over top of it too, and then it's like you forget that thing's even there.
Yeah, they're playing somewhere.
Does anyone want to look into Katie's gaming on Twitch? Go ahead, Miss Dog Lover. Enjoy that ride.
Right.
If somebody knows Twitch really well, see if you can find anything to do with Katie on there. He's definitely a gamer. He was definitely, into his freaking what was it? Was it Xbox or no? Yeah, Xbox. Anyways, you can see him playing it on his YouTube channel, just Keegan Dunker. And other than that, I personally am done talking. My throat's been sore all night for whatever reason. I don't know. And it's only going to be sore. My husband's probably going to love it. Deb and Adam are probably going to be like, oh, my Sunny, she can't talk. Yeah. And I know.
Sorry, I keep sneezing. So I keep turning him off.
And so, Alexza, you know what? Thank you, obviously, for coming on and doing this live and sharing your knowledge. For anyone watching this video that has come in at a later time, just go back to the start where Alexza, because I'm going to have to do this myself. I'm going to need to go back to listen to what you were saying, because I always do it when I'm in a quieter time that
Yeah.
I can really absorb what you said
Mhm.
and think about things a little bit more easier.
Mhm.
But yeah, Jason's tattoo. But I appreciate it. Well, I'm sure Adam and Deb do too.
Well, no, I said the same thing. I'm gonna have to, because I'm so interested in
Mhm.
everything you said but I need to absorb it.
Yeah,
Like,
of course. And sorry, I mean, I know I sound like a toddler, but
don't be
I
sorry.
get a little bit nervous. I don't know why. Like and I was telling my husband, I'm like, I can teach, I can do everything, but something about knowing that I'm on YouTube, I don't know. I get so nervous. I'm like, oh,
are you nervous today?
yeah, I get so nervous. I'm like, oh my god,
Well,
it takes a while to warm up, but I do get a little.
Yeah, you know what? See me
I
with
don't know
me.
how you guys do it, but I'm like,
It's just like
oh,
talking with friends to me.
no,
It's
I
like, hey,
know, I
how's it
Well,
know.
going? Yeah,
and you sounded
honestly,
incredible, and you look beautiful. So I
I
mean,
know.
Oh,
I
thank
know I
you.
said I can't wait to rewatch and really absorb everything you said.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
wish I just had a better a better way of showing. And that's why I didn't want to get so much into
No, that was a great
and
way,
so much
Alexa.
in loops and anything because I was like, okay, just let's stay baseline and a couple loops and thing. I didn't want to go into too many details because I
Yeah.
couldn't show because like I said, this was not my computer. But
Well,
I think we yeah, I'll go back and rewatch it too. And
no, Alexa, though, how it was done was perfect. You literally had the cryptic note there. You were able to draw on the cryptic note. You were able to, like, honestly, that was the best setup for it, to try to show people exactly what you're talking about. I mean, honestly, like, there's no other better way I could think of how to do that besides literally being in your presence.
And that's what I was telling you that I wanted to show because sometimes you start talking, people are gonna be like, I don't know what you're
Right
talking about, and that's why I
now,
wanted
I
to.
would what I would really like to see is let's analyze the letter that we know was written by Keegan Klein.
Ooh.
That's I would be really interested to see your analysis on that.
Okay. That'll be interesting to see what you see, like what.
Well, no, I mean just
what
from
you're
going
gonna
off of
read.
going off of like what you spoke about tonight.
No, I know, but that
I
would
would
be
like to hear
that's what
your
I'm saying. That would
analysis
be
on
so
that.
interesting to see if like those things that that you guys have a little bit of knowledge now, like like the Felon's Cook, the O's and all that stuff. Be interesting if you can if he would have those things in his hand.
Yeah,
I mean, we have a 3-page letter in his handwriting.
Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, Alexa, that would probably be a great one to do, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because I know that it's going to be hard to profile the BG too much, in a sense, the actual BG. I know profile just because, I mean, yes, right, profile the BG, but could it be one of those times where we did a live and we could do like a quarter of profiling? Because I just feel like that it's not a subject that needs to go on and on because
listen, this is your show. You do whatever you want. I mean, if I can help you, I told you I can do. I will do it.
I think that the note from Keegan Klein would be an awesome, knowing full well that you've given us a base, but I think looking at that you might see a lot of interesting things. And I think a lot of us would really like, even though it doesn't matter that Keegan Klein, again, it goes by the writing. It goes by interpreting what writing is, regardless if you know that it was Keegan Klein that wrote it. It's how they write it out and how it presents, because that's the whatever you expertise.
Right. Because whether he's guilty of all of this or not, it'd be interesting to see the analysis of his writing. Because we know he's got a fascinating psyche.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in a good way, but
No, I agree. I think no, and you know what? People like him he plays dumb, but he's very smart. I think he's extremely smart.
Right. I've always used the word resourceful, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh my God, you got my mind going now. Alexa, stop. Adam, stop.
Sonny, we talked about that I already mentioned that to you already.
Yeah, I know, but now you got me.
No, I can do it. I mean, obviously, I will come in with the. I mean, no, but like it, like it's how can I say this? I mean, when you do this, you go by facts. Obviously, I know the person. Like in this case, I told you don't tell me anything because I didn't want to be influenced, because sometimes you can be influenced. But
Right.
obviously, letters are letters, and loops and that, I can't make up loops there if they're not there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think
Exactly.
even though I know him,
You have a
I know him.
baseline.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, and actually a letter is better because with the letter, because here it was just a small thing. With the letter you can actually you can go more in depth, because you can
Yeah.
actually, especially a
So-
long letter, because you can see a pattern, especially if it was when it was written, how it was written.
Under what
So,
circumstances? Yeah. So
mhm,
that would interest me a lot. Just, I
mhm.
mean, even with a grain of salt, just
Yeah, of
it would
course.
Well, you know what? Because I'm sorry, you guys. Now you got me all wanting to hand over KD some of his verbiage writing on there.
First
That's gonna
things
happen.
first, King Sunny.
No, yeah, we can get rid of the whole profiling thing and just focus on my KD and Kagan. It's a Kagan night. It's just a Kagan night. It's Kagan Stein night, people. Yeah,
I got that.
yeah. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
gonna profile Katie myself, and I'm gonna tell Alexa exactly. Maybe I'm
yeah.
No
advanced
one,
that far.
no one better tell Kagan Callis.
Yeah, don't tell Keegan. Yeah, don't tell Keegan Callis. Keegan Callis. Yeah, I know, right? Frick me.
Yeah.
Frick. Don't name your kid that.
But
Say it.
Yeah.
I would really, even if even if you don't want to do it on a live, I mean, I would personally just be really interested in that. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I assume
Anyway,
other people would as well.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to do it? You want to send it to me before? Or you want to do it on the live? It doesn't matter.
I mean,
you know what?
would it be helpful to you to have it before the
No, I
live?
mean, it will. Yeah, I
Like,
can go. I mean, I can. Yeah, because I usually write notes and and put
Okay, but
what's important and everything.
Alexa, Alexa,
Mhm.
Alexa, can I please send you a few little things that I know that but my BGKD has put out there, and
Sure.
just to analyze it. Does meaning again, I know that if I say Keegan Dunker, it doesn't matter to me because it's all about how somebody does something, right?
Mhm.
And if anyone doesn't have two brain cells to put together, then people will understand that this, no matter what, is the generalized thing that a profiler will look to, or a handwriting expert will look to go with the base of everything, regardless
Mhm.
if, right. So, correct. Just like us, whatever, right? A psychic or whatever. You don't want to give them too much information. So that's why for you, it's like, for the most part, it's good that you don't know who it is, because then people are going to be like, you Googled this person. We don't care. We're telling you right now, this is Keegan
Mhm.
Klein, KD, whatever. And at the end of the day, people that understand the work that you've done and do
Mhm.
understand that it's based around that experience of how the serial killer might
Mhm.
typically have. Oh, hey, Adam. Hey, Adam.
sorry, I was tired of looking at that. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. How they might put the Fallon hooks in their writing and stuff like that. You
Mhm.
go get your girls to bed, Missy. Your husband's
Boys.
probably going
Thank
yeah.
you for
Or
sticking with us
boys.
for
Sorry.
4 hours almost.
No, it's okay. I know it's a pleasure. Like I said, like I always know
Ooh,
there's no way we're gonna go 2 hours. So I was like, okay, we'll go a
Yeah,
little longer. So
but
Alexa, didn't I promise you that we wouldn't go 4 hours this time?
Alexa, I mean, you can
You are
always
very
just say
intriguing.
you got to go. So I mean, but I said I would love to see your analysis of the letter that we have of Keaton
mhm.
Klein. If
Yeah,
Sonny would like to see your analysis
yeah.
of
I mean, yeah,
Keegan
send it. I
Dunker,
mean, it would be.
so
Yeah, mine's going to
hopefully
be
you
a
can
lot
come back
less
on.
than Kagan
Mhm.
Klein, but no. So I'm a liar. I obviously told Alexa, no way, this is only going to be about a 2 hour live. She obviously knows
It's
that.
okay.
You know what,
So
Alexa?
you
I'm
want
sorry.
we can do both on the same day? You want to do
Yeah, because
both?
mine's going to be probably a lot smaller than
Okay.
Kagan Klein. I'm just going to show you a few tidbits
Mhm.
out there that I can find,
Mhm.
and yeah, you know what?
And
We'll
believe
just
me, it will get to the point like you start learning yourself. So when you
right.
see like the O's, and then you will see it. You will come across one way or another. You will come across, handwriting like that, and you're gonna be like, oh my god,
Right.
that's my
Right.
name.
Exactly. Well, now I'm gonna always remember that Fallon hook thing because I've done it
Yeah,
the
the Fallon
odd
hook.
time, but I don't do it typically. I mean, I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to go look at all my handwriting now. I'm gonna have to give my own freaking,
Mhm.
Right. But
yeah,
you have
profile.
the training to back it up. I mean, we have the intuition to look
Yeah,
into.
of course.
Like I can look at something and I can
Mhm.
instinctively tell you whether it was written by a man or a woman. Typically,
Yeah.
sometimes people can trick you around, but
Right. There's the
Yeah.
odd guy that has female writing, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that'll be really interesting, and I really
Okay.
do appreciate you coming on. I was gonna say we have 169 people still in chat, but we just went to 170. So sorry, Sunny.
It's okay. It's all good. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Like I said, thank you so much. I mean, sometimes,
Yeah.
I'm like, I stop because, like I said, I get a little nervous.
Well, I
Don't
get
be
you get
nervous.
nervous. I get excited when I because I know, right? Like it's so nice to have someone with expertise in an area that can literally talk to the audience and give them knowledge as well as we're absorbing it. So I think we're excited to have you on. Those nerves, to get rid of them, because for me it's like if I could hog you for a long time I just would, because I just like listening to this stuff. Oh, Adam.
No, it is.
Oh.
No, it is fascinating. I have to say, I like
Yeah.
it. I like doing
Sunny,
it.
was that a pig reference?
No. No, just kidding. Okay, you guys, let's call it a night. Never did gloss tonight. I'm gonna gloss for all those people that did.
Oh, yeah. I
Like,
actually have mine.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much to everyone.
Yeah.
I think this makes like what 5 hours I've been on YouTube.
yeah. Adam's been on a long time, and Deb was too. And there's Ray Jones creeps in at the end. Not that you creeped in at the end. You're probably watching it the whole time, actually.
But we appreciate everyone. Oh, 168, 165. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just want to give out shout outs. Let me just do this in a row. Miss Dog Lover loves me. Okay. Just want to say that. Miss Dog Lover. And she's from England, where my husband's from. Anyways, Miss Dog Lover, Miss Dog Lover, Miss Dog Lover, Miss Dog Lover, Miss Dog Lover. Thank you for each of those donations that you did tonight. She knows, she's learning. She knows how to break it down so that she can put her question up there. And instead of doing like a $19.99 donation, it's like, I can break this down so that I can, because the super chat, you see it to the eye right away. It's not like I mean to, but it's just, it's
Sunny,
right
there
there.
you go. 169.
Yeah.
There we go. 169. Jesse, Professor Pug, and Kim Hart is Kim Harp. Oh, yeah, Kim. Crimezilla. Thank you very much. Sloopy, thank you so much. Crimezilla again earlier, because I know that there was a few chats in your guys' live that you guys did earlier. Our Barley. Our Barley was the other day, actually.
Yeah, we think we had quite a few earlier. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, you know what? We appreciate it, you guys, so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
I have to go watch it. I didn't get to watch it, but I have to go watch it.
What do you have to watch?
The one that the live with Deb and Mel and
about Anthony Greeno and stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm always so fascinated by that whole. I don't know how he got away with that, but
well, he might get away with it. So
I honestly, that guy just is like, it blows me away, the stupidity of people when it comes to the people that fall for his shit. I get that there's naive people out there that try to believe in the goodness of people, and I get that. But I'm talking about all you had to do was Google this guy. And for a mother that sits there and goes, I don't care. I still think great about him. I don't care what he did in his real life. I just love his lives and stuff. Really? Go smack your head on a wall or cement or something like that. Because
we all know, as long as there, like I said, as long as there's going to be people that will, as long as there are going to be people out there to like hurt, victimize people, there will be people to be victimized.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So exactly, and and hence, in a sense, Crime Geek there, right? I think she was on Sleuth's Live the other day, but anyways, so she was known to be with Anthony Greeno. All right. Lesson learned. Everyone that heard about it, knew about it. Lesson learned. Now that our lesson is learned, Okay. And this takes everyone too in chat, right? You guys go through a lot of lessons in life, lesson learned. And because Anthony Greeno, he's a smooth talker, he's a con artist. You know, he knows how to play people.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are susceptible and believing or caring and whatever, and truly think that this person has a good side, then that stuff's going to happen. And then
you hit someone at the wrong point. You hit someone at the right moment in their life, and
Vulnerability.
when they need something,
exactly.
they'll take what they exactly.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I feel like we've all been there at one point in our life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where we get, you know, we're able to be manipulated.
Oh yeah, there are people that can forget it. Yeah, even the best, even people that are very hard to manipulate. I mean, I have a very strong personality, and I've still been manipulated.
Same.
So
Right.
yeah,
same.
Yeah,
you know, there's people that pulled the wolves over my eyes a couple times. You know, where you're just like, dang, I had you pegged wrong. I'm usually bad me.
Like I told you, I am very good at reading people. Like, and that goes before even my training. I am the type of person that I think within the first 32 seconds, I will tell you whether I would like you or not. And
shit, I'm only 31 seconds.
Oh, it's 29 here.
Right. And I told you, in my life, I've been wrong twice. And one was a close friend of mine that's why I couldn't see it. And the other one was another person.
Yeah.
Right.
And my husband is always like, "Oh, give the person a chance." And I'm like, "No."
Don't you hate it when they said give the person a chance? You're just like, "No, I already know. No, thank you."
What's even worse is when someone tries to tell you not to give the person a chance, and you say, "You don't see what I see," and then you have to come back. You know, you were wrong. But you know what? We live and we learn.
Either way, great live tonight. Great live tonight with Alexza and Adam and Dab, and a great live earlier with Mel, Adam, and Dab that did that one. And yeah, so it was bonus night tonight. There was like a lot going on. And thanks, Adam, for doing that live today. And again, hey, yeah. So again, if there's more of that you guys want to take on with pertaining to that stuff, you know, go right ahead, take the wheels on that on our off scheduled nights or before or whatever, or maybe we'll incorporate a night with it. Who knows? See how that all goes regardless. Okay, guys. Have a great night. Thanks, Alexza.
Alexza.
Bye, Dad.
Until next time, right?
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share, blah, 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 blah. Thank you, guys.
I have to do my like.
There's not even an outro because everything just disappeared. I don't know what happened with it. So good night. This is our outro.